Welcome to, oh wait, we're dark. Well, there we go. Now welcome to the NASCAR Weekly Podcast, part of the Out of the Groove Podcast Network. I am joined, as always, by our usual panel of hosts. We have, where is he? He's this way, Danny B from Danny B Talks. We've got Darian Gilliam from Black Flags Matter. Jarrett Lundberg, the Iceberg, down here. This week we are joined by Kyle Foster, who was on the ground at Sonoma this weekend. Great to have you with us. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Well, we are happy to have you. We're also going to be joined in the second half of this show by a smaller YouTube creator known for gaming videos, a big race fan, as a matter of fact, Komodo Gaming. He will be joining us in the second half to talk about the All-Star race and much, much more.
Do we have to? Do we have to talk about the All-Star race? Do we have to?
It's our jobs. If
I know.
Sometimes this is a job. It's not always fun and games. It's a very special show. One, because we're all here together. It's very nice. It's very fun and collaborative and enjoyable. But two, it's a very nice show. June 9th, a very exciting day of the year. Also, nice. I looked this up right before we started. It's been 15 years now to the day since Cars was released to theaters. So a very momentous occasion here this evening. Thank you everyone in the chat for joining us. Yeah. Isn't he like 15? Was he?
I think he's really close to that age.
Is this his birthday? Happy birthday!
I think he was born in 2005, I believe, or something like that. I don't know. Something
close enough. Well, let's jump right in. Sonoma Raceway, y'all. The third road course race of the season. Kyle Larson swept the stages for the second week in a row, but he didn't run off and hide. A string of late race restarts. Chase Elliott was right there with him, keeping him honest on that final restart. But I want to start with you, Jarrett. What did you think of NASCAR at Sonoma? First time we've raced there in 2 years. It was good to be back, right?
It was really good to be back, and it was a lot better than I honestly thought it would be. The first go-around with the carousel layout just left a bad taste in my mouth. But with the different package we had this time around, with different drivers in different places, and it seemed like just with the aggression being a lot higher this time around, it felt like one of those kind of more old school Sonoma races from, I say old school, meaning 2014, 13, 12, around that era. But it felt like one of those kind of old Sonoma races. I think it was the best one in years. I think that a lot of people are looking too much at the numbers of laps led by Kyle Larson or just the domination way too much. On paper, this is a boring race, but watching it, and it passed the eye test with swimming colors, in my opinion. So I really liked it personally. And I think so far this year, I'll make, I think, a bold statement compared to what was being said on Instagram and Twitter and so on. I think it was the best road course race of the year, better than the Clash, better than Daytona Road Course, better than COTA. I really like this one. It was a return to form for Sonoma.
I don't think that's too crazy. Yeah. What did you think, Derek?
Kyle Larson just keeps, man, he's in this new era with Hendrick Motorsports, man. Now he can win anywhere. This was his first career road course win, as a matter of fact.
I thought it was crazy. Coming into this year with Ganassi, he only had 3 top 10s at road courses ever across like 15 starts. He's been great everywhere. He has no weaknesses, it seems, other than maybe Daytona and Talladega. But Kyle, I want to ask you, since you were on location in the media center, in the garage area, what did you think of NASCAR being back at Sonoma?
First of all, it was just so nice to have it back. I felt like after 2019, I had kind of gotten that fish hook. I'm like, I want to go back. And then 2020, we lost our race, and it was just like, good to be back. And overall, the fans were out; they were in full support. It was a great weekend overall. But when we're speaking to Kyle Larson, he put on a show. When seeing it with my own eyes, he was incredible. So fun to see him win. Local guy he's only from Elk Grove. It was great for him to win at his home track for the first time. It was a great weekend overall. And like Jarrett mentioned, I think that it was the best race since 2013. That was the last time I saw a good race at Sonoma like that. So I thought it was an overall pretty good race.
Yeah, it had action throughout, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about stage racing and what its place in road courses really is. I think we can all agree that maybe the caution flags at road courses can sometimes get in the way of natural strategy. But at the same time, I think it's safe to say that some of the most entertaining moments of this weekend's race kind of came because of those stage yellows with, differing strategies. Sometimes Kyle Larson would, he'd drop to the rear on the restart. He'd be 20th on the restart, and we get to watch him over the next 15 laps or so pick his way through the field. And that was really, really entertaining rather than seeing him just continue to widen and widen his lead. But I'll start with you on this, Darian. What do you think of stage racing at road courses? Does it get in the way for you, or are you kind of just a necessary evil?
Well, yeah, it gets in the way for me naturally as a racing fan, because as a racing fan, you love strategy. You love seeing, hey, how can second place, catch first place, if not straight up on speed, but, off of pure strategy. And road course racing is perfect, for those types of races. But, you throw in these stages that, just interrupts, the whole flow of the race and stuff. And it's just like, for stage, these stage cautions in general, like, I just wish they would just not stop the racing at all, because they have the technology to, keep track of who was, first through 10th, and, just calculate the points while still having the race, continue. But I mean, obviously, the stage cautions, I mean, like NASCAR, they kind of want the race to stop, in my opinion, I think. So like, some people like it, and I will admit though, Eric, I mean, yeah, having the race, having the race stop did kill, all of that momentum I was talking about. But at the same time though, it was a very spectacular ending to the race. Like, there was like a ton of stuff going on every time the field kept bunching up together. So I understand it on that front, but just naturally the racing fan in me wants that type of strategy to play out.
Well, I'd say, like I said, it was a really good race. I think it was a good race though, in spite of the stage cautions. I think they fell at the right times compared to the other cautions during the race and compared to the flow overall of the race. And I think the teams now are a lot better when it comes to strategizing with stages involved. But I'm not going to say it's a blanket, the stages will work in every road course race. I personally think, and I put this on Twitter the other day, I had some mixed feelings on it, but I think that NBC should try this because, and it will be a rule change for part of the season, but we've done this before. I mean, just look at last year with the choose rule. What I'm saying is maybe for Road America, I'm looking at the schedule right now, Road America, Watkins Glen, Indy Road Course, before the playoffs, so it's not going to affect the championship if for some reason they implement it or don't implement it. But in those three races, try to have it where they remain green under, still having the stages. But then you also can use side-by-side commercials the way you did for the Indy 500. I mean, it's the same people. I mean, not exactly the same people, but the same network broadcasting NASCAR's last 20 races of the year compared to, the same people that basically did IndyCar. So I would think that would be an option, maybe long-term, because maybe you can't change it this close, to these races happening. But I think that's something that might need to be done, because while this race was good, there's been so many different road course races that have been ruined, in my opinion, by stage cautions, because it completely takes out most of the strategy. This one was the exception, not the norm.
What do you think, Kyle? Do you think road courses and stage yellows mix, or how do you feel?
So I've been going to the Sonoma race and stage. Well, obviously in 2017 was the first year stage racing, and it was a boring race for the most part. I mean, there was some strategy there at the end. 2018, again, same thing. 2019, same thing. And this year, I think, like Jarrett said, it was an aberration. But I think something that we're overlooking here is that we had a competition caution, which also threw things, with tire wear, and that changed things there in the first stage, where we normally don't get that, where they have a normal practice in qualifying. But I'd be fine if we just award points and keep the race going, because this race had, I think, 8 cautions for 18 laps or something like that. 2 of them were the stage breaks. There's plenty of stoppage already.
Yeah,
I like green flag action. I mean, I'd be willing to see it the other way. I'm more interested in your guys' thoughts. Like, this is very interesting to me, because you guys have been fans longer than I have with this. But I don't like stage racing on the road courses for the most part. So yeah,
I'm with you. I'm kind of with Darian and Jarrett usually, but I will I do think that having the stage yellows, planned cautions at road courses, I hate that it forces teams to choose whether or not they collect the stage points they earned by being fast in that stage, or setting themselves up for maybe a better finish. I just think that's lame that the fourth place guy pits with 2 to go and sacrifices those stage points because it's about trying to get the ultimate win at the end. I just think that's lame. Let him get those stage points he's earned and keep the race going. But I don't, to your point, Jared, I don't see any changes happening this year, probably until 2024. I feel like it's baked into the TV contracts that there's going to be stoppages that allow for full screen commercial breaks, if I had to guess. I think it goes all the way up to that level. I think Fox and NBC were involved. But you're right, NBC was flexible with the Indy 500. Maybe there's a conversation to be had there, but I'm not too sure. I do want to move on because we have a couple races to react to. So let's talk more about Hendrick Motorsports. I don't want to harp on Kyle Larson's dominance too much, but it's not just Larson. It's all of Hendrick. Chase Elliott finished second. This is the 4th straight 1-2 finish for Hendrick Motorsports. Bowman and Byron were not too far. Well, Byron actually was involved in a wreck, but Bowman was not too far behind in this race, despite heavy damage. Like, I don't know if you guys heard this, but on the Door Bumper Clear podcast this week, I think it was Freddie Kraft was saying that the rumor in the garage is that Chevys are getting 15, 16 more horsepower. And I don't know. It's obviously a rumor. And you got to keep in mind the source, of course, as well, coming from Toyota and Ford guys. But what do you guys make of Chevy?
15.
I want to right away be like, that's people have been saying that about different manufacturers for decades now.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, these guys are
like,
getting
there might be
stuff and all that.
Well, there might be truth to it, but I mean, in 2015 through 2017, 18, 19, everyone said the Toyotas were getting more, and then everyone was saying the Fords were getting.
It's not necessarily illegal.
Whoever's winning, basically, they're gonna say, hey, they have something extra going on or whatever. They're they found a little something.
My thing is I made sure to write it down this time because I was sort of in a scrambled mess talking about it before. But I can think of 3 years in the past 10 years where Hendrick Motorsports at this point of the season was far and away overall the best team. 2012, 2014, and 2015. How many of those years did Hendrick Motorsports win the championship?
Not often. Those years,
Zero. Because Brad Keselowski beat him out, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch. So I don't want to get into the same song and dance that a lot of people are of just crowning them champion right away. Right now, they're the best. They definitely are. And I know that we're only with this car for 20 more races this year, and then we're going to the next one. But that doesn't mean that the teams are just going to give up on trying to make what they have now better or working towards making the playoffs better. I mean, they might be on the opposite end of the Jimmy Johnson strategy of just everything's going great for this first 26, and then another team will swoop in and just flat out dominate. I mean, we saw it on an individual basis last year with Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick, and by the end of the year, they were basically afterthoughts. So I don't want to say that they're going to win it. I think that right now, with what we know, they're the favorites, but there's a lot of racing to go. I mean, a couple races into the year, we were thinking only 1 or 2 of them was good, and now we're thinking all 4 of them are great.
Yeah, Chase Elliott was a weak link, was behind the pack for a few weeks there. Now
nobody ever called him a weak link on the NASCAR Weekly podcast.
Not here, not here, not ever.
That was not us.
But I just want to mention. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Darren. I don't want to change.
I was just want to say, just seeing Larson and Chase Elliott battling it out too. That reminded me of a little bit of the Johnson Gordon days. Like I don't know, like obviously, at this point in Larson and Elliott's careers, they're not as established as Johnson and Gordon were up to that point. But still, both of their talents speak for themselves. And this is just, the one of many battles perhaps we'll see those two having in the future.
Well, so my thing with the whole Hendrick dominance is yes, they're clicking on all cylinders, and we've seen this before, but I talked to Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. on pit road after the race, and they are just what is going on with those Hendrick cars? Kyle Larson. Oh, I mean, it's just interesting. When we did our media bullpen, they were just baffled, we have nothing.
Flabbergasted. They were flabbergasted. What is going on here? What is this?
Especially Truex, who was trying to become the second only three straight race winner at Sonoma since Jeff Gordon did it in 1998 to 2000.
Damn.
I mean, he just was they were just better. We have nothing. And Joey Logano said that Kyle Larson gets a good car underneath him and just wiping out the field.
And also, I'd also have to think that some of these teams, like, wouldn't you think they're probably focusing some of their resources into, next year too, because last year of the next gen and all that stuff. So I don't know, like, sure we'll see some improvements, throughout the season, but as far as like a major improvement, like I don't think Hendrick Motorsports is just going to, all 4 cars are just going to keep dominating every race like they have been. So we are going to see some improvement, but a team toppling, Hendrick as the best team in NASCAR, like, I don't know. Now, will they win the championship? I mean, with this system, it really doesn't matter. Like, you just have to make the Final 4, and then it's basically a free-for-all. But, I mean, Hendrick Motorsports is the best
JGR team. Is still really close. I mean, it's not like Truex and Kyle Busch were really far back most of the race. They were right up there battling with them. I mean, at the end of, I believe, stage 2 and also in the final stage, Truex was definitely better than Kyle Larson. So it's just, I think that the cautions fell the right way in a lot of ways for Larson to dominate as much as he did. I think he had the best overall car, but if we just run that race out green, I think Truex is, if he doesn't win, he's still challenging him and is right there. I mean, I don't think it's as wide a gap.
Keep in mind, this is Truex's maybe statistically best track on the schedule, whereas for Kyle Larson, this track was an afterthought 2 years ago. I think there is something to be said there. But to your point, though, Jarrett, first 6 or 8 weeks of the year, Denny Hamlin was doing everything but winning, and now he's kind of, he's losing the grip on that regular season championship.
I'm so done with Hamlin.
The ebbs and flows throughout the season will definitely persist.
And do you remember last year when Hendrick self-inflicted a penalty on themselves?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it, with their speed right now at the moment. I mean, I don't think it could have any correlation, but at the same time, I mean, you never know what they could have gained in that time.
I think you look at the Chevys across the board are better. Both RCR cars are in the top 16. Suarez is the best looking. Their Trackhouse has the brightest moments of any of the new teams. I think you going back to the end of last year when Chevy combined the resources from ECR and Hendrick Engine Research, I think they are getting the best engines right now of any other manufacturer, and I just think that's spelled doom for the rest of the field at this point. But Danny B.
Okay.
Danny B just jumped in here. We were talking about Larson. Do you think Kyle Larson is the clear favorite, or do you think someone else will rise up to challenge him before by playoff time?
Oh, right now Kyle Larson is firing on all cylinders. I think the whole team is doing well, but he's clearly the favorite. I think he's number 1 in terms of the 400 cars. I would honestly put the other 3 just kind of tied of one another. No one, like, I guess, Bowman got 2 wins, but still, I don't know if he's really shot himself out away from Elliott and Byron. They're all doing great, but Larson's definitely looking like the clear favorite from that camp.
Well, Jarrett, I want you to, if you have the points pulled up, we can look at those in just a second. I wanted to mention Brock Beard sent a super chat saying, "Way to go, Kyle. You're on the NASCAR Weekly podcast." Proud of you.
My guy, Brock.
Yeah. And I also want to mention that I see all the super chats people are sending. We will get to those just after the lightning round, about midway through the show. But thank you for the support. We will read them shortly.
I could pull up the points right now. I have them up.
Basically, the top 16, like, they're basically
they've run away
pretty,
with it.
Yeah, they're pretty secure so far.
Unless somebody wins.
Unless somebody wins, of course.
Like Suarez or Bubba or Chastain.
So I have ESPN up for it, and I like how they do it. They have them by wins, then by points, because that's basically what matters right now. And
hell, I'm surprised ESPN even has the NASCAR points. Yeah, the way they don't care about motorsports, and it'd be like that sometimes.
Well, they finally fixed the issue of having DiBenedetto's name spelled wrong.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm looking at it here, and it's 60 points, the gap between Buescher and DiBenedetto, and
it's a full race, basically, right?
Now,
both stages.
Yeah.
Max points.
But after, if somebody under Buescher wins, it's only a 7-point gap between Reddick and Buescher. And then between Buescher and Austin Dillon, it is 45 points.
Wow.
And then Harvick, I believe Harvick is 92. I want to say, I think I did my math right. 92 points ahead of Buescher. And then Hamlin's good on points as long as he doesn't lose the regular season championship lead, which is very possible.
Yeah, because those are some important playoff points that he otherwise doesn't really have at this point.
Well, and it's, isn't it that it's the regular season champ is locked in, but so it's not the highest non-winner in points. So if Kyle Larson is the regular season champ, and say we by some weird miracle in the universe get 5 winners, which is not actually that much of a stretch. I mean, you're looking at some of these guys that haven't won yet. You got Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick is heated up, Kurt Busch. Well, just if it underneath,
but
Chastain,
Kurt Busch,
and of course it's all building up for Almirola to win Daytona. We already know that.
Yeah, basically, as long as Daytona is the season's finale, nobody is safe up until that race is over. Basically.
Oh, I actually didn't do my math this time. I'm gonna see how many behind Almirola is. I believe it's.
Oh no! Oh,
I would love so much if he won Daytona.
Let me.
See the one positives that 2311 and Trackhouse can at least take away from the 2021 season are that, hey, we were at least ahead of 3, not just 1, 2, but 3 SHR cars this year.
Oh my God.
How bad
What's the
is
number,
it?
Jarrett?
He is 186 points out of the playoffs right now. He's 175 over Jamie McMurray.
That's the McMurray marker.
Yeah, so we're using McMurray as the marker.
He's still closer to Jamie McMurray than the playoffs, and he is. Oh my God, he's actually closer to Scott Heckert than the playoffs at this point.
Oh, Get out of here!
I'm serious. I'm serious. He's 185. He's 185 points ahead of Scott Heckert right now, and he's 186 out of the playoffs.
Wow. What is going on, man?
At this rate, he might be in the next week or two, he might be closer to Derek Cope than the playoffs.
Like at one point in the race, at the very beginning, he was behind James Davidson for a moment. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is getting out of hand, man.
James is a pretty good red course racer.
Yeah, this is a Rick Ware car.
Oh, those Rick Ware cars, they had an interesting day on Sunday. We saw the 3751 incident, right?
Yeah, that was great. That wasn't even Cody Ware's fault. That wasn't even his fault, and people were still blaming it.
He straight up just wrecked him, though.
I know. Oh, yeah, the second time was Warren, dude. He came back on the track. It was like, yeah.
Actually, one other incident we didn't talk about, but y'all saw later in the week the full story of Daniel Suarez versus Michael McDowell in the last lap. We saw in the broadcast Suarez run through McDowell in the final.
I knew it was something. I had a feeling it was something.
Further replay showed that McDowell forced Suarez off the track earlier in the lap, so I thought that was interesting.
Hey, but great job, Fox, for showing us that. That would have been interesting. Show us that in the post race.
I didn't even know about that when I was there. Like we didn't even see that on our broadcast in the media center. So we can't see everywhere.
Not paying
attention.
Cameras,
everywhere at Sonoma. So
cameras lacking.
Speaking of Fox, this was the final points-paying broadcast for Fox of the season, and as is rumored, according to Adam Stern this week, this could have been the final points-paying race that Jeff Gordon will be calling as an announcer. What do you guys make of that? We've talked about the broadcast a bit on this show in the last 2 weeks and on some of our respective YouTube channels as well. But Danny B, I'll start with you on this. What do you make of Fox this year overall as we switch over to NBC? And what do you make of these rumors of Jeff Gordon possibly leaving the Fox booth after this year to move over and take on a larger role at Hendrick?
Well, I think Jeff Gordon's long-term place is with Hendrick Motorsports. I've been thinking that for a while.
Jeff Gordon Motorsports coming soon.
I don't even know if they'll do that.
No, they'll never do that.
Just keep the name Hendrick. It's just obvious that Jeff will be the one in charge of it now. I think that's his better long-term place. I don't even know what Fox is going to be looking like for the future with hosting NASCAR, but it's been seeming like for a while, to me at least. I feel like Mike Joy's obviously about ready to retire, or at least he should be. I mean, he's how old? Like what? In his 70s.
He's up there. He's up there.
Like you got to imagine he's ready to just be living on a golf course at this point. And, go do some spec racing on the weekends.
Get behind the wheel of those Trans Am cars again. Just make pace laps. Just grooving.
Yeah. You got to imagine that he's ready to. And Clint Boyer, he's just like, point me in the right direction. I'm ready for something.
I would love to have Larry Mack back in the booth. This is the perfect opportunity for that.
He's already said. Yeah, he said he won't do it.
he said, dang.
Yeah, he said he's half retired. That's why he just hangs out in Charlotte. He doesn't want to be on the road.
Yeah, he's kind
yeah,
which
that's
I mean,
understandable. Yeah,
Larry Mack is how old too?
He's also in his 70s. I think.
Yeah, so he's not. You're not gonna get DW back. You're not gonna get Larry Mack back. You know, it's at this point, it's like your best opportunity to get Alan Bestwick has come and gone. So you got to figure out what you're gonna try to do there.
See, I'm so confused. See, like I was just thinking about this the other day too after the broadcast. Like a while back, I was talking about these next gen teams and how the average age of a NASCAR Cup Series owner is like so high, and I have to wonder like at some point with Fox and NBC like when are they going to start looking at bringing in perhaps some new talent, you know what I mean, like that might be waiting in the wings somewhere, you know what I'm saying, like
they're trying, like Fox is trying out Jamie Little. She's hosting the ARCA broadcast now. I think they're trying some of it stuff.
Yeah, but more so with the Cup Series broadcast.
Well, you got to start. Rick Allen started with trucks, or he might even started with ARCA, so you got to build them up somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Adam Alexander has probably been, being the one to probably take over for Mike Joy one day, probably.
I'm 50-50 on him.
He's very solid.
It's either we're gonna get Adam Alexander, or we're gonna get Vince Welch. So which one do you want, Eric?
Adam.
Adam.
Hey, y'all saw the news today that CBS is not looking at getting any other motorsports on their plate.
Yeah.
Alan Bestwick ain't going to be that busy if all he's doing is SRX. That's all I'm saying.
Gosh, let's just imagine the Daytona 500, the biggest race of the year. And Michael McDowell, the wheel in his hand, he will win.
Yeah, Vince Welch is a no. Adam Alexander is a good professional, but I'm not a big fan. It's unfair for me to say this, but I just don't love his voice. It's just too. I'm Adam Alexander. I don't really want to hear that.
Out of turn 3.
You want to hear like a very serious tone, correct?
Yeah, I feel like one of the issues among the many issues with Jeff Gordon is he doesn't have a natural TV voice. It's sort of nasally sounding.
Dude, I agree.
I was getting so annoyed. Like I had watched the pre-race show for the first, like the entire pre-race show for the first time all season last week, and I was like just. I was even DMing you guys in the chat. I was like, "Oh, Gordon, what is up?" Like, I don't know. It's just like he's been on NASCAR on Fox for what, 5 years now?
5 years.
This is 6th.
Dude, he's 6 seasons now, and it's like not much improvement. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
And it amazes me how many people also are trying to like make excuses. Like I was saying, like after 6 years, the UFO is broken. I don't know what
it keeps combusting. No,
there's no spinning the UFO.
I'll spin it in my hand tonight, but the UFO is broken.
That's a tragedy.
Well, it become a fidget spinner.
Oh no.
There's
let's
no
not go
tragedy
back
worse.
Back to 2017.
We'll work on that.
Going back to that though, like if you look at Jeff Gordon, sorry, Jared.
No,
I'm like, okay, it's fine, go for it.
All I was gonna say, I personally kind of like, this is weird. Looking back at some of the Truck Series races, I almost like Michael Waltrip better than Jeff Gordon as a commentator.
That's
true. Hey, bro, I agree with him. Bro. It's all about.
I'm not a big Jeff Gordon fan, but I wouldn't say something like
that.
No,
I'm Mikey, bro.
As a commentator, I don't know.
Hey,
neither.
Mikey, he's good for the trucks at least.
Yes. Personally, I think, and you said this today in your YouTube video, Eric, you hit the right person on the head. I'll let you reveal it since you know exactly who it is.
Yeah, my pick is Jamie McMurray to replace Jeff Gordon. If Jeff Gordon does, in fact, it's reported by Adam Stern. It's not just a rumor. It's reported by a very genuine, reliable reporter that he's considering it. That it's kind of between that and moving over to Hendrick Motorsports as a more of a leadership role. But if Jeff Gordon leaves Fox, holy hell, they better not run a Mike Joy Boyer booth next year. They need someone in there, another analyst.
Bro, just imagine Boyer just by himself, bro.
I think Jamie McMurray would be perfect. His delivery is smooth. I think also it helps. One of the weird things this year is you got Jeff Gordon, 93-time winner, and Clint Boyer, who won 11 races in his Cup career?
No, he won 10, right? 10 races.
I think Jamie McMurray's he's on Boyer's level. How many wins did McMurray get in his career? 8?
7, right? 7, right?
Something like that.
I'm putting him than 10.
I got the win list. I have the win list.
Didn't you win like 2 in 2011?
I think it's
Two at the
7.
very
I think
most.
it's 7
I
career
think I
wins.
just think it would they'd be a more natural fit. They're used to racing around each other. It felt this year the balance was off. That was part of the issue. But no, I think
7.
McMurray would be
Yes, 7.
job,
Yes,
Danny.
I was right on.
But if you look at McMurray's 7, he's got a lot more high profile wins in there.
Well, so my issue with NBC is that there's too many voices. So I think that Fox would be better off if Gordon leaves. Getting a Dale Jr. would be like the perfect one.
They
If you're
poach
gonna replace-
Steve Letarte, get a crew chief back in
someone.
the booth.
I don't know, because I like Fox for their own reason, and I'm going to throw a major hot take at you guys. I've always preferred Fox over NBC. That's just a major hot take. Don't hold it against me.
I do too.
No, some people like Fox.
with the exception of the last 3 years. Up until the last
Yeah.
3 years, I would
Yeah.
probably slightly lean towards NBC, but it's not that different now.
Historically speaking, if you go all the way back to even when it was like just when NBC was just 6 races a year of TNT, because that's essentially all that was just NBC's old crew, basically. Even back then, like I like the Fox team a little bit better.
Yeah, but what was your point, Kyle?
I just think that they, and I know sometimes you guys don't like the lazy Sunday like feel of it, but I like that casual. Like NBC, their broadcasts get a little boring, and I don't know. I think it's mostly Rick Allen because Mike Joy at least keeps you interested with his knowledge of the sport. I don't know, something
That's
about
fair.
it.
I do
That's
agree.
fair.
Mike Joy is still the best part of really the entire Fox show, and the drone cam during burnouts. Sometimes they overuse it during the race, but during burnouts, that drone cam.
In the carousel, it was fire.
It was good this week. Actually, yeah, they did do a good job this week. I'll give them that.
I'll say this: if Jeff Gordon does end up leaving, I guarantee the NASCAR fandom will zone in probably on someone like Jeff Burton. Honestly, like because I've heard there's a lot of people who don't like Jeff Burton. Like,
Um,
I've looked
almost-
online. People are literally calling him Know-It-All Burton. 'Cause
Wow.
no, there's been broadcasts where he's like, "See, fans at home, you just don't understand," and then I'm like,
He's talking down. to us,
"You're
like, you don't get it.
right, but you're completely telling us the wrong way." So like.
You're talking down to us.
I feel like maybe it's a Jeff problem.
Yeah.
So can I also
rid of
make this
Jeff.
point
no
about
Jeff's allowed.
I also want to make this point about NBC. I just don't like when they take over the Xfinity schedule because you got Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. in the booth. And they do a good job of hiding the bias, but it's like, there's bias there.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
I think it's the same degree as whenever Gordon's calling these cup races and he's talking about Henry. It's like, dude, it's like Gordon, like he loves seeing, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know it,
I'll give Gordon this. He at least admitted he was biased.
Yeah, he at least admits it. Like
And
Junior,
I
he might
give
as well
him
just
credit.
admit it. Junior
And
might as well. Just
on NBC's point, I will give Jeff Burton some credit. He hides it in his voice pretty well. But remember when Harrison beat Gregson at Texas last year? They had the hidden camera of him going, yeah.
Well, and
But he kept it professional over the airwaves. I'll
That's,
give him
that's,
that.
that's your
different.
son. That's your son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll give family ones a pass.
Yeah.
And I'll give Dale Jr. this. Remember last year when Noah Gragson was like basically the scourge of the Xfinity series,
And this year,
and this year, but he hasn't covered this year yet. But remember, like last year on air, live in front of like over 1 million people, Dale Jr. basically calling out Gragson. Then they put up the graphic of all the wrecks he caused in the year. Yeah, he caused a lot of them.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
also speaking. Oh, go ahead.
There goes you.
That's the one thing I just don't like about NBC, man. And like honestly, I think Jamie Little is really good, is a high level pit reporter. Regan Smith and Parker Kligerman you could toss up there, but I just think that Jamie Little has more personality. Personally,
Yes, dude. Her like ARCA commentating is really solid.
She's been around the sport for so long too, so she's become iconic basically.
Yeah, I think she could do the job. She needs a little more work. Her ARCA coverage has been hit or miss. I can't remember the race exactly, but I think there maybe was a feed issue because they like butchered the call at the end. Like I think it was the Talladega race. They just like. It's like they didn't know the race was over. Everyone crossed the line.
Yeah.
I
And
think that
it's like
they
the
were
feed got
working that
messed
one.
up.
They were working that one remotely. I think.
I don't think they were. They had to have been at the track.
no, Jamie was at the track.
Yeah,
Jamie was
so-
at Mid Ohio, and then she flew to Sonoma on Saturday.
So I just remember the whole like ARCA booth for that race like a month ago was butchered at the end. But other than that, she's been pretty good, and so that might have just been a technical glitch. I have no idea, but we're going to go and move on from this topic because we do have a lot to get to tonight. But before we move on from Sonoma entirely, Jarrett, do you have the TV ratings for us? We'll keep kind of in the theme of TV. We also have the poll coming up. But what are the TV ratings?
The famous iceberg poll coming up next.
So for the ratings, at a 1.49 rating with 2.494 million viewers. So it's down to, I guess, hundredths of a rating point.
200ths of a rating.
Okay. And then up 16,000 total viewers from 2019. So about even. It's basically broke even on both of them. So more of the same, not bad, not great, but compared to other things, not bad. But I guess it's really all to say on that one. There's not too much to unpack.
Yeah.
Well, the race was earlier in the year than it normally is. Normally it's at the end of June.
Well, I'm curious to see how the All-Star race will compare to last year's being a midweek race, but it being Texas versus Bristol. So we'll see that one.
Oh, yeah, and it's on a Sunday night this year. I completely forgot about that, too. It's on a Sunday night.
Yeah. Sunday night NASCAR. I hate this new YouTube update. Every time I go onto my channel to look at the poll, it goes to incognito mode now. But I do have the poll on me, and I can start reading some of those off.
The poll, the famous iceberg poll. How many people voted on this poll? Did we have a new poll record or no?
No.
It's a no. It's a no.
No, we came up short. We were, I think, the third most ever we've had. It was 15.9 thousand votes. And looking at it here, 18% of you thought that this was a great race. 54% said it was a good race. 20% said average. 4% said below average. And 3% of you said this was a bad race.
I voted great, as y'all can see on screen.
I see that. I see it.
It was between good and great. I think I gave it an 80% on the Groovy gauge, so I don't know.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I gave it good. I thought that it was the best race since 2013. So
yeah, good.
And looking at it compared to other races, it right now ranks 44th out of 85 on the positivity scale. It is tied with last year's race at Kentucky, which remember was kind of skewed up because of that really awesome finish. Looking here at it compared to other Sonoma races, well, we only had one other and it was way better than 2019. It actually over doubled the percentage of people that liked this race over 2019. Because this one was 72 and that one was 31. But when you compare it to other road courses, it's actually the third least popular one we've had since starting this. Only over this year at Coda and 2019 at Sonoma. So,
ouch. I think a lot of that is the Larson dominance. Even though he didn't run away to a 12-second lead a bunch, it was just the fact that he did lead throughout and was clearly the best car pretty much from start to finish.
Oh, yeah.
I think people are already starting to get a little tired of it. You know, he's 5 straight second place or better finishes, man. I think people are already, it was a kind of an interesting story, and it still is, but I think now people are, looking for something else. Because think about it, he hasn't finished worse than second in a month.
Oh, yeah, he's on it. Yeah, he's on it.
You know what's funny is
it even goes for sprint car racing too. He won a World of Outlaws race like a week ago.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what's funny is I keep going on Twitter and I keep seeing a lot of these Elliott fans that used to be Gordon fans, and they're getting pissed about Larson winning all the time, the same way they were about Johnson winning. And it's like the Johnson fans have come over to Larson. So it's just a continuation with different people, and I find that funny.
Well, I mean, Cliff Daniels was Jimmy Johnson's team, so
yeah,
makes sense.
It's basically like we're looking at Elliott is Gordon and Larson is Johnson, and then you got Bowman and Byron who are like Earnhardt Jr. and whoever's in the 5 car. It changed like 3 years in a row one time.
Yeah, but looking at some of the comments here. Top comment came from BW Left Turn Racing, at least on my end. I don't know if it is on that end. Larson at Charlotte. You want to watch me win all the stages in the race? Larson at Sonoma. You want to see me do it again? Let's see what else we got. Florida Rail Productions. It's Larson's track and everyone else is just driving on it. Let's see. Cloud Creation. Kyle Busch 2020. My luck sucks. Eric Almirola 2021. Hold my beer.
Taking it to a new level.
Yeah, Almirola's luck just skydived off a building.
Yeah, no luck.
2017. Truex and Larson win everything. Elliott constantly finishes second. 2021, Truex and Larson win everything. Elliott constantly finishes second from Doritos and Mountain Dew. Let's scroll down a ways here. I'm gonna see if we can get some new people in. Let's see. Well, this person only saw the last 10 laps, so Chris Barnett says it was really good race and Larson is the man. Not biased at all, I assume. Let's see what else we got. JLM or Jim, I don't know.
Jim.
You said HMS is back.
They've been back.
Yeah, they've been back. They're gonna be back for a while.
Alexander says best Sonoma race since 2016. Marky Mario, you got a Mario thing. Mario says it was bad.
No.
Oh.
What does Luigi think?
I do not know. The second to last comment says about as good as any other road course, thumbs down, and his name is Byron Wins.
Please, road course racing's awesome.
Oh my God.
Well, gee, who was the only Hendrick car to DNF that race?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my God. Okay. Last comment here. Okay, is it positive or negative? It's from Tanya Harding.
Negative.
I'm gonna be mad.
I don't think. Yeah, some of the chat's younger. They don't know that name.
What do you say, Kyle? Positive or negative?
I'd say it was a positive race.
No. Is the comment going to be positive or negative?
Oh, negative. Name Tanya Harding. Oh.
Yeah, it's a negative.
I don't know if I want to read this one.
Was it that bad?
It's not even about the race. It's about Rick Hendrick.
Give us the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
It's basically going around saying that this is not me saying this. I want to just for reasons say that it's not me.
What is it?
It says Rick Hendrick faked having cancer.
Oh no! Don't read
All
that.
Right, I think we can move on.
I think
negative. Negative.
That's negative, and I think that's one you might not want to have back.
Bro. No, that takes
negative.
What I expected to hear.
That takes negative comments. The last comment to a whole new level.
Are we gonna have to change our tradition because the chat can't behave?
I think we are, because if I see another one like that, we're going to the second to last comment and we're deleting whatever the last comment was.
Yeah, we're just gonna do that.
We're gonna put y'all in timeout because of this. I will turn this car around.
Tanya Harding just as toxic as she was in the 90s.
Jesus.
Well, thank you all for voting on the famous iceberg poll. Thank you all for chiming. Well, thank most of you for chiming in the comment section.
Most of you.
We always like skimming.
Thank you to everyone except Tanya.
Real quick, before we bounce out of this weekend entirely, let's touch on Mid-Ohio. AJ Allmendinger gets his second win of the season. He gets it done after that 3-wide move on a restart.
I gotta point out one stat. So Noah Gragson in 13 starts this season. It's been 13 starts this year for Xfinity, right?
Yeah.
6 DNFs. What? All
right,
he's
so I've heard in the playoffs. He's still in the top 12 though.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it's kind of we've seen teams that shouldn't be in the playoffs make the playoffs there.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just saying.
But what is going on with him this year, man? We hear all this hype in the offseason, but and also another stat. It's been over a year since his last Xfinity win, has it not been? The last one was Bristol last year.
Bristol, yep.
So what is going on with Noah Gragson this year, man? It's been such a bad season so far.
I mean,
unlucky, but mostly bad.
It's like ever since he punched Harrison Burton, it's been bad for him overall, I'd say.
I think it's a combination of bad luck and he's a polarizing figure in the garage. They just want to beat him every week. I mean, you know what I mean?
It's probably true. Well, people don't give him an inch.
Nobody's gonna give Noah Gragson an inch. He doesn't do himself any favors in that regard, but. Also shout out to Ty Gibbs. Just keeps next Kyle Busch in my opinion. Yeah, next Kyle Busch in my opinion, man. He's insane, ready to go. But freaking awesome.
He needs to race Xfinity next year full time. He doesn't even need trucks.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, he really doesn't.
But poor Austin Cindric though, man. He was leading that whole race, about to win. Then that caution came out, and then he gets punted, man. And then my power went out too, and it was 108 outside. I'm like, oh, you gotta be.
No, when because I picked Cindric, so I had a little invested here.
Yeah, same.
And I'm sitting there I just sat there. I was thinking, I'm like, man, I'm mad, but I wasn't too mad. I just sat there did that just happen? And I got to think in his head, he had to be like, what the. Did that just happen? Because that just sucks. I know that it's an entertaining finish, but I do hate when the best driver and car out there doesn't get the win. I mean, yeah, there was like actual reason for the cautions towards the end of the race, but man, that has to hurt, especially being a hometown race.
He doesn't even get a freaking top 10 at least. Like, at least have like a
that's right.
Back of a day, get a top 10, but damn, gets nothing basically.
Yeah.
So I'll admit it, we were things were jumbled up this weekend, honestly, on Saturday. A bunch of issues getting into the track because ARCA didn't know what they were doing with the Cup, and it was a bunch of stuff that I was told, and I got in there and saw only that Gregson had wrecked out, and then that was when the historic Trans Am cars got on track. So I didn't get a chance to watch much of the Xfinity race like I was hoping to.
Neither did I. So I missed the whole thing this week, unfortunately. I saw the highlights, but happy
good for AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah, good for him. Another win.
He always has a ton of energy when he wins, so it's always cool to see.
And also, Colleague Racing, they're looking pretty good. You know, Cup Series next year perhaps, and you know they're proving why.
They've got 3 wins: 2 of AJ, 1 of Jeb, and then Justin hasn't won yet.
I'm not doing another Riley Herbst rant.
We're not doing that. We don't need to do that every week.
I don't need to do that every week. Like, I got my point across. He's continued to basically back me up.
Overrated.
What a nice guy.
Tell you what, if they keep going on for you to do a Herbst rant, then we'll do the opposite, and we will go on a Ty Gibbs praise fest.
Yeah,
I don't know. Ty Gibbs, he did kind of. He was the reason Cinder wrecked a little bit, but partially. So we'll keep our praise within reason for Ty Gibbs this week. Not to break the fourth wall, but looking at the famous NASCAR Weekly Podcast itinerary, Jarrett, what's the 50-second rule thing you have written down here?
Okay, so there's this rule on standalone Xfinity races where the car, you don't have a full pit crew there, and so you had to be on pit road for pit service at least 50 seconds. And I can't remember off the top of my head who it screwed over, but it was just, it's one of those rules that I think in theory sounds good to save the team's money, but my opinion is just going to lead to really dumb penalties, especially under green. So I don't know. My thing, I'm not really crazy about this rule and about, not having the crews there. So I'm immediately going to probably be opposed more to this than anything. Oh, it was Allmendinger. That's right. It was Allmendinger.
Yeah.
And he overcame that. But it's like, I don't like this rule, man.
Basically, if you have a fast pit stop, you get penalized, correct?
Well, and not even that. It's just more, I mean, I guess you could have it that way. But my thing is, you've completely changed the rules for like an entire portion of the race, from maybe 1 or 2 races all of this year, because Cup guys aren't there. And it's like, that just is dumb to me, in my opinion. I understand the reasoning behind it to save money, but how much extra money is that really going to save for 1 or 2 races? That's what I have to think.
I agree.
Yeah, well, I didn't see the race, so I didn't see the penalty in question, but it sounds like something that will need to be addressed, especially for these standalone events. Moving on, next up is the mailbag question, and we thank all of you who sent questions into weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com, emailing us questions. This week's question comes from NASCAR Racing Fan 18, and they ask, if you were to own a racetrack, which would you own, and what would you do with it? So an existing racetrack, I take.
Oh, you see, here's the thing. I got to think long term with this, and it's not just, I'm not thinking NASCAR. I'm thinking of, the local races, the weekly races. I would buy my home track, the Bull Ring, and stream it on my channel every day, every race that's out there, basically, and just build that track back up. Basically, I would love that. That'd be funny.
As a businessman, I'd buy Bristol because I love it. So that's the personal reason. Bristol's super cool. But as a businessman, then I'd bring Formula One to Bristol. 1,000 laps around Bristol Motor Speedway.
For those watching the show for a while, and you guys might know where I'm heading with this one.
Oh boy,
I've been a big proponent of this for a little while, and I think we need to just pull the trigger and do it.
Okay.
I would take over Texas Motor Speedway.
Fine by
We'd
me.
reconfigure that bad boy because
please.
everything's bigger in Texas into a 3+ mile super speedway.
Daniel's
Yes,
going
let's
nuts.
do
Loves
it. Texas Super Speedway.
Oh
Let's
no!
go.
I changed my answer. I'm buying Texas Motor Speedway.
I already bought it.
Building
I already
it
bought it.
into a Walmart. It's a Walmart now.
A Walmart?
Nope.
We're gonna
we've
put it into
saved-
a Walmart.
we've
North
saved the
Texans deserve
speedway.
racing.
All right.
We're gonna get Komodo Gaming in here in a minute and see how he feels about
Yeah.
you destroying Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh yeah, he's from there. That's right.
Oh, I can't wait to hear his thoughts on
Let's
that.
see.
I
I would take Bowman Gray.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's good.
Nice.
That's nice.
I would take over.
Take over.
Yeah.
Take over.
Not even just own. Take over.
Take over.
I would buy the Nashville Fairground Speedway, and I'd buy it cheap, and I'd take the rest of the money and start buying out all the Karens that live around it to build parking.
Oh man.
what
Would
you
their
get, like-
dogs be okay?
What are you gonna do? Evict them, or are you just gonna like give them
Hey,
an offer, make an offer they can't refuse?
Here's a check. Get the heck out. I need
Get the
parking.
fuck out.
I don't think that's how property works.
It works. It works for me.
Where's where Danny be talking?
I'm building parking, and I'm putting the Hattie B's right on the property.
Danny B, proponent of the Great Reset. Anyway,
Goodness gracious.
and instead of an iceberg fly, because those are being caught right now, we now have a moth here.
Nice.
Nice.
Non-stop.
Is it a Mothra or is it Mothra?
I wish it was Mothra.
Mothra.
We'd be getting a lot of super chats if it was Mothra. Anyway, but yeah.
Well, thank you.
Again. Texas Super Speedway to the moon.
Thank you for submitting the question, NASCAR Racing Fan 18. Again, I saw Jarrett put it in the comments or in the chat, but you can send your questions to weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com for a chance to be featured in next week's show or a future show. Now, before we get into the lightning round, because we're nearing the top of the hour, the last story I want to cover while we have Kyle here. I'm sure you've seen the news in the last couple of days, Kyle. I'm sure we've all seen the news, but NASCAR is changing the Super Speedway package beginning with Daytona later this summer. So basic specs, basic details of this. They're reducing the size of the tapered spacer even further. So rather than about the 510 horsepower they've been generating the last year or so, it will now be around 450, 460. They're also getting rid of the wicker bill on the spoilers, so slightly shorter rear spoilers now. And they're adding an additional roof bar behind the driver, kind of the rear of the cockpit, I guess, sort of in front of the rear wheel well. And the goal of the package, according to NASCAR, is to reduce speeds by 7 to 10 miles per hour and hopefully keep cars on the ground a bit more than we've seen. This, of course, is clearly a reaction to Joey Logano's flip at Talladega a couple months ago. So I'll start with you on this, Darian. Do you think this is the right call? Are you surprised NASCAR changed anything, given that we have a whole new car in just a few months?
No, I'm not surprised because like there was some concern after that Logano flip. I think there was some roll cage damage and stuff, so like that was really concerning, I guess. And Logano's pretty tall, so like if perhaps if the car was on fire or something like that, it would have been really hard to get out, basically. But I mean, I'm not shocked because I had asked, on Twitter the Monday after the race if they were probably going to do something, and a lot of people were like, "Yeah, they probably are, but they shouldn't." That was basically the vibe I had gotten from it, and yeah, like I'm not really surprised. I understand it. It's in concerns for it's in terms of safety, for safety precautions and all that stuff, but. Once again, the racing fan in me, I definitely love that package though. Especially, I thought it was perfect for, especially Talladega, a track as big and as wide as Talladega is. Now for Daytona, I mean, I would understand if they just changed something for Daytona, perhaps. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot more narrower and all that stuff, and also because of the huge accident we had on lap 13 of the 500 that year, maybe too. That might be a factor, but. Yeah, not really surprised, but do I think they should have changed it? Nah, but I get why though.
Yeah, it's hard to. I've said this before, but it's kind of difficult for us sitting on our couches to discuss driver safety at super speedways. Like,
yeah, because we're not driving.
Exactly.
So.
At the end of the day, reducing the speeds by 7 miles per hour and maybe reducing the runs that guys are going to be getting. is that really making drivers that much safer? I will say this, I think adding the additional roof bar or roll bar, whatever it is, absolutely, I think we can all agree that's fine, because that doesn't affect the racing. But reducing the spoiler, reducing the horsepower further does change the racing, and I worry that they're going to sacrifice the product more than they're actually going to add to driver safety by making these changes. Like, we've seen guys flip at 180, 190 miles an hour, so they can flip at any speeds. The smaller spoiler probably makes it a little less likely that they'll flip, sure, but at the same time, I just worry we're going to go back to like I don't remember specific years, like 2015, 2016 era super speedway racing, where there was that invisible bubble of air at the front of the field that really prevented much passing, and I'm worried that we're sacrificing too much of the racing product for these changes.
Since 20, sorry.
I want to ask. I mean, it says no wicker bill on the rear spoiler, but it didn't say anything about the spoiler height being taken down, did it?
Well, isn't that what the wicker bill basically is? Like an additional.
It's just a lip. It's a lip. It's just a lip on the top, more or less. It doesn't really take too much away from or add too much to the height of the spoiler.
Oh, yeah, we'll see then.
Yeah.
But I want to say this right now. The whole horsepower speed argument, in my opinion, is really stupid, because everybody, including myself, had been clamoring for years to have stuff like 2001 through about 2004, 5, 6. And it's almost exactly the same as it was back then. Yeah. I mean, the racing back then was in the 180s, maybe the 190s until the repaves, and the horsepower was about the same. So I think that argument is not really too valid. I think that making them slower is just going to keep them in a slower pack, but probably closer together. They won't have as big a runs.
It's still going to be wide open. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like they'd be more likely to not be so packed up if they were going faster than slower. So I don't know.
I think we're going to see 2014, 15, 16 again. I mean, we could be wrong. They did a lot of the changes on the current package to try and slow it down, and all it did was make the dang things faster. So,
well, I mean, 2020 was arguably the best year for super speedway racing. It was the most fun thing to watch. I was on the edge of my seat for every race, and I don't know. I'm all for driver safety. Like Eric said, I agree with the roll bar at the top, but I want good super speedway racing. We only get 4 of those races a year. I want them to be very good. And this last Talladega race and the Daytona 500 were kind of the low ones of this package. So I'm expecting really good races. I hope that this doesn't dampen those.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the spoiler, because I'm with you, Jared. I think reducing the horsepower a little bit's not that big a deal to me. They did reduce the horsepower a little bit last year after the Newman wreck, and it didn't really change the racing. They're obviously reducing it further, but I'm with you. That's not the big deal. For me, it is just the big rear spoilers would allow drivers to get runs easily and make a lot of passes, and if they are doing anything to alter or shrink the spoiler, which I believe that's what this will be doing effectively, that just likely means less big runs. Maybe that's good. Maybe it's not going to be that much worse. Maybe they're going to find that sweet spot. But the package before that we've had the last year and a half has just been so fun. Yes, there've been a couple scary wrecks, but I don't know. I just don't think that what they've done, other than adding the roll bar, I don't think what they're doing is really making the cars that safer. That's the only thing.
I like what GP Lap says, make them sound like TIE fighters again.
Think of it like this. If we do go slower, ARCA for years has been, considerably, it's got good speed too, but it's considerably slower than the cut package for sure. But we've still seen crazy wrecks in ARCA super speedway races. We've seen flips in those races. So going slower isn't necessarily the answer. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it was really interesting. A lot of people were comparing after Newman's wreck in 2020. The way he hit the wall, where he hit the wall at Daytona was almost identical to where Kyle Busch hit the wall, I think, in 2008. But the one difference, perhaps part of the reason Busch didn't flip, granted they had a big wing as opposed to the spoiler. I think that helped a lot, keeping him on the ground. But Kyle Busch was going about 10 miles an hour slower than Newman was going at the end of the 2020 Daytona 500. So I think lowering the speeds helps some. The spoiler, I think, is the big factor. That's the thing that's going to keep the cars on the ground, and that's also the thing that's going to affect the racing the most. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, it's only 2 more races with this package. We'll get something completely new, a brand new clean slate next year for the Daytona 500, which I'm sure we'll get to perhaps in the lightning round. But I saw tickets went on sale for the 2022
I need to get my
Daytona
tickets
today.
too, yeah. And apparently they're selling fast, so I need to get mine soon.
You have to wonder, when we went to the car tomorrow, we saw Michael McDowell give the first true big test to the car tomorrow. Jeff Gordon also gave it a good test. You got to wonder who's going to be the first one to have that just insane wreck in the new car, you wonder.
Yeah, might take place in the 500 too.
Yeah, good chance it happens at Daytona right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
But before we
we'll be there, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
Before we get at Nashville.
To the lightning round, we want to thank our first guest of the evening, Kyle Foster, for joining us, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chiming in. It was great seeing a lot of your footage. I was talking to you before the show, the great clip you had of Michael Jordan strutting through the garage. That looked like a lot of fun. But thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was awesome. And you guys all do a great job. Keep up the great work, fellas.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
You as well. Is there anywhere, we have your Twitter down in the description, but is there any other places that people can find you?
So my website is napasportsnews.com. But on there, you'll primarily find local high school sports coverage because that's what I mostly do. I also am on YouTube with Napa Sports News. So there's some NASCAR footage on there, pre-race interviews with all the drivers if you want to go back and reminisce. Napa Sports News Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm on a lot of places, man.
Nice.
Let's see.
That's Napa referring to the Napa Valley, not Napa like what's on Chase Elliott's car.
Yeah,
right?
not Napa know-how.
Napa Valley. Yes,
Yeah.
Napa Valley, the world famous wine growing region is where I'm coming to from. So, yep. Napa Sport. Yeah, that's pretty much everything where you can find me right there, and follow me on Twitter at Napa Kyle. Right. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Take care. Hopefully we will talk to you again very soon.
Yeah, thank you guys again so much, man. This was awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Have a good one. Have a good one, Kyle.
You guys too.
All right. So next up is the lightning round, and that is brought to you by one of our sponsors, Lionel Racing. Take it away, Jarrett.
Yes, again, brought to you by Lionel. Let me grab my diecast right here. Speaking of Talladega and a race with flips right here. But yeah, you can get any of the new 2021 diecasts of any of your favorite drivers, whether that be Noah Gragson, whether that be, AJ Allmendinger, maybe, leading down the line, maybe that be Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, get them all with Lionel. And then you can get them really anywhere that you go shopping, Walmart, maybe Target, online, no matter what. Lionel's got you covered. Guys, what do we have tonight?
They have Junior's 2005 Daytona 500 scheme, but with the pull-up truck with it too. So I like that. Nice little short track touch to it. But they used to do these back in the day. So Junior's wasn't the only one. I think Gordon and Johnson have one too, maybe.
Stewart has one.
Oh, nice.
See, this is what happens. This is what's cool about diecast. You can take one that's regular and turn it into art because this is a custom 2006 Dale Jr. Martinsville car that I custom made with the.
Awesome.
I got this for $10 at Martinsville, so I turned it into a custom of that car right there.
That's cool.
The chat's mad at me because you guys all pulled up Dale Jr. diecast. That's not what I have here for you, but I'm holding this up for scale. Jonathan from Virginia, I believe. I'll actually have to check the box, but Jonathan sent me this 1/18th scale Matt Kenseth
Fat, and that's the fat version.
It is fat as it gets. This is a 1/64 to scale it.
I need to get a 1/18. If there's any at Nashville, I need to watch out for one.
This thing is gargantuan. I don't know. It just.
That's the restrictor plate car, basically, because of the.
It is massive. It is massive. But yes, thank you to Lionel for sponsoring the NASCAR Weekly podcast.
And
thank you, guys.
I mean, we basically did a rookie year 2000 class of 2000 theme night. This is the 09 Dale Jr. Talladega car. This holds a special place in my heart because it was raced on my birthday. So
nice.
I remember watching it because that was like one of only 3 races all year that he legitimately competed for the lead in the second half of a race.
I think he finished 10th in that race too. 11th. I was happy about, damn it, it was so close.
Yeah, we didn't get none of us got the happiness of a Dale Jr. top 10 that year on our birthdays.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you to Lionel for supporting the show. You guys sense that? Do you feel the shifting air? Was that an effect? I saw the lighting in Darian's room is all over the place.
It's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly podcast. Jarrett, what do we have on tap today?
All right, here we go. Adrenaline Shock is releasing a limited edition Shockwave Chase Elliott signature can. I believe they're an energy drink, right? To commemorate his 2020 title win, will be sold nationwide this month, according to Adam Stern. Haley Deegan will replace Tony Kanaan at Slinger and Knoxville in the SRX. And New Hampshire Motor Speedway will be full capacity. Both of these brought to you by old Bob Pockrass. You need to give him credit there. Eddie Gossage has said that after the trophy presentation, we're going to see something we've never seen before at an all-star race.
Eddie Gossage is going shirtless.
We've probably seen that, honestly, if we look hard enough. I bet that's happened.
Oh, yeah, because he's retiring. So.
I'm out of here!
Yeah.
Why do I think it's just going to be...
he's going to blow up the speedway. Yes, he's going to blow up the speedway.
No.
Bring in the bulldozers, Bowman 1!
No.
Your cars quick.
No, it'll be announced he's the track president of North Wilkesboro.
Oh my God, that would be crazy.
I would laugh so much at all of just the angry older fans at that.
What they do is they've airlifted North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's going to come in on helicopters and be dropped into the infield at Texas.
Wait, why do I have a feeling that it's actually going to be just instead of giving, it's $1 million check, but it's going to be like the size of a bus being rolled in there?
Yeah, something like that.
Gosh,
probably. Save Mart has signed a new deal to sponsor the Cup race in Sonoma for, years, basically. Cool. Like we said before, tickets for 2022 Daytona 500, speaking is difficult, went on sale today. Dollar Shave Club will be sponsoring Justin Allgaier this weekend.
Wonder if he'll keep his beard this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, good point.
Comrades, Tanner Berryhill will be driving the 23 Xfinity car at Texas this weekend.
Thank you, Comrade Terry. Wow. What to say, Terry? Comrade Banner Terry Hill.
YouTuber Camelot331 was actually kind of in the news a little bit. He was driving his own number 12 Ryan Newman Alltel Dodge at Daytona at the road course, and he proceeded to wreck it.
He's darn YouTubers again.
Yeah, it's YouTubers, man.
Is this a video? This sounds like a clickbait YouTube video I'm actually interested in watching.
It's real.
He actually wrecked it. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah,
he did.
It's a 2007 Ryan Newman Dodge. And there's actually video, I think of it, because there was, I think, one of Kurt Busch, but there was one of him too, just driving at full speed. I think at one point he's had it in his garage too.
He gets to drive a freaking Gen 4 whenever he wants. He's freaking lucky, man.
I'm not really familiar with this guy. What kind of content does he put out?
Good enough to get a Gen 4 car.
I saw he had a Gen 4 car.
Is he like Cletus McFarland, just a rich car guy? I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe. But damn, I wish I made enough off of here to get a Gen 4 car like that. I'd take it out every day, basically.
I'd be down to get him on and talk to him about it. It's it's not totaled. It's just the left front is
totaled. I did say at least he didn't do what the 12 car did in 2003.
Oh
yeah.
What if he just recreates? He's like, "Hey, in today's video, we're gonna recreate Ryan Newman's 2003 flip."
Not click by
the wheels are off of it. Oh my god!
Is this an NR 2003? Oh, real life? Oh my god!
we're that rich.
Yeah. Back to the present though. Ryan Preece is not going to be entered into the All-Star race weekend.
Wow. He's just like, nope, no chance.
Well, JTG made the decision. Credit Karma will join the sport as a new sponsor and will sponsor the Atlanta Xfinity race this summer, according to Adam Stern. And then let's see, 4 more things here on the lightning round. Nashville's Cup winner, and I don't know about the other ones yet, but I know for sure the Cup winner will be getting a Gibson guitar, according to Jenna Fryer.
I thought that was kind of already known, though.
Yeah, but I think it's official.
It's that's official.
Okay. Don't quote me on this. I'm fairly certain all the series probably get one, but don't quote me on that.
Well, you know who else is fairly certain is Denny Hamlin, who has said that we're going to Chicago. I can tell you that.
Talking about the street course, right?
I don't think anyone has doubted that since they announced it on iRacing.
I'd be shocked if it's confirmed. I can definitely imagine the talks have progressed, but I'd be surprised if it's like confirmed by now. That's not to say it won't be confirmed by next year or anything, but
it'll be a while before it's officially confirmed. I think.
Got to work with Beetlejuice a little bit. Excluding the Daytona 500, Fox and FS1 viewership is up 3% over 2019, which it has 3.357 million viewers per race compared to 3.258, which is plus 99,000 viewers per race according to Fox Sports. So that's good news, and I will eat my words from last week.
It's a shame Daytona got rain delayed, or else those numbers would be so nice right now.
Yeah,
I think they'd be a lot higher in general. And then last thing, we got to shout out a former guest of the show who we need to definitely get back on after this one. Brandon Brown wins Twitter with the absolute best pitch to new sponsors. It's beautiful.
That's going everywhere too. It almost has 10K likes, so it's not just NASCAR Twitter. That's not like pretty much a lot of people just like that in general. Like, yes, that's perfect.
He did such a good way of promoting it. And here's who it makes me think of. And oddly enough, so he did this in the style of a car sales advertisement. And oddly enough, it reminds me so much of Ashton Lewis's Advertise Here car, and Ashton Lewis now works as a manager for a car dealership.
Oh wow!
That's the funny thing about that.
That's crazy.
That was a great video, and I'm happy to see it getting traction beyond NASCAR. But there was the lightning round. Woohoo!
That was the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast, and now back to the show.
Now we're going to read your super chats, but before we do that, the Out of the Groove Podcast Network and the NASCAR Weekly Podcast are sponsored by Forney Industries. Forney offers a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and much, much more. For do-it-yourselfers all the way to professional metalworkers, Forney has everything you need for your next project. Be sure to shop Forney's top-of-the-line products at forneyend.com or at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Look for the green logo. I don't have my hat, or else I was reaching for it.
Where's your Forney hat? Where's your Forney hat?
It's in the closet. I need to get it out. I forgot what day of the week it was. But Forney Industries, thank you to them for supporting the show. Their link to their website is down in the description. Now,
Eric, here's a bet. You didn't bring your Forney hat, so you need to tell us a corny joke to supplement it.
Oh, yeah. I just looked at this car and I was like, it's green, just like, my green screen is kind of going through it. Oh, never mind. So no, that doesn't even work because it's transparent. I was going to make a green joke because it's a green car, but never mind. It wasn't very corny. Some people who are corny, though, we can always count on the chat for some corny jokes. I know we've got some corny super chats to read here in just a moment. I saw our friend Jar Jar Binks in here, so let's get to this. Thank you all so much for the support. A super chat from Gordon Fan 1992. I appreciate that. Actually, hold on. We can we'll let our second guest Komodo Gaming in just a moment. Danny, let him know that he will be letting him in just a second. Jake, thank you for the super chat. Thanks, Cheater Boy / Hypocrite Harvick. They screwed up the plate package.
Hey, leave Harvick. What are y'all doing, man?
They're just memeing at this point. Isaac, cars was how I got introduced to NASCAR. #Kachow. That's awesome.
Y'all are nuts.
Thank you, Irvin Darlington. Meet your F1 cousin Baku. She bites the same way with the walls. Instead of the stripe of your car will be ruined. Also, the surface eats tires and hopes of a win. True family reunion. Wow,
Baku was so awesome,
cousins?
by the way. I guess.
Baku
was so funny.
Thank you, Hadley Palmer. Does Larson do this well if SHR would have got him instead of Hendrick, even with SHR equipment obviously behind? Love the show. I finally found people my age that live for racing. Well, thank you, Hadley. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's a good question. SHR has dropped off a cliff this year. Larson would have probably helped them, but would he have helped them a lot? I don't know.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be winning this much, obviously.
Probably not. Probably not this year.
Not this year. The equipment hasn't been there. Even Harvick's not winning. So
yeah.
Jar Jar Binks. Oh, goodness. Misa, muy happy. Eric is Misa's best friend. We're going to hang out at the Road America race. He's a great guy. We're going to talk about hypocrite Kevin Hart. Thank you, Jar Jar Binks. I couldn't read the whole thing in his voice. It was going to be too painful.
You saw him big doo-doo.
There you go. There's the corny jokes that you guys were asking for. Thank you, Groovy Goose. Would any of you fight Logan Paul and spin the UFO if it's still working?
For how much?
Yeah,
dude?
how much? We can talk price.
Sure.
Hey, if all I gotta do is like bear hug the guy for an hour or whatever he did.
Yeah, because it looks like he's doing hugging.
I can do that.
Yeah,
I can do that, man. I got long arms. Thank you, Kylito the Tiger. Briscoe is starting to get better, guys. Yeah, he's 20th instead of 25th. Woohoo!
Yeah, he's decent. Yeah, he's getting up there. Yeah.
Isaac, thank you. What can SHR do to turn themselves around? hope and pray.
Hey, no, you just gotta wait until next year's car. Put all the resources into next year's car and hope for the best.
There might be some truth to that. Thank you, Nicholas Gray. Looked at the points, and Ty Gibbs is -7 points behind Riley Herbst. Just saying. Granted, playoff points are what matter, but still. Darian, I can see you holding it in. Oh, gosh. All right. Yeah, well, good. Thank you for pointing that out, Nicholas Gray.
That's so bad.
Thank you, Gordon Fan 1992. Since Jeff retired, I've been an HMS fan. I like Chase, but why are his fans making up BS excuses as to why the 5 is running better? Saying HMS is purposely giving Larson cheated up cars.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
People really
We've heard that, dude. This is a new era, basically. Junior fans
really
used to say the same thing about like Johnson and Gordon.
It really is the
stuff.
Jimmy Johnson era reincarnate.
It's because it's been like a decade. So yeah, I didn't even think about that.
God, it's just a new era, basically. Now they're blaming Kyle Larson.
Where does the time go? Then we got that super chat from Brock Beard. That was good to see him. The other White Castle, full Sonoma is okay, but short course is still superior. I think I agree. I liked having that turn 7 passing zone. You don't really have that anymore.
I love the camera angle of that turn 7 passing zone too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you, Groovy Goose. Riley Herbst, more like Riley Derpst. All right. Platinum Paradise. Nowadays, the team that had the best season and the champion are two different things. That's somewhat.
That is true.
In fairness to NASCAR, they did start giving the regular season champion a trophy, so even they kind of acknowledge that they're two different things.
I get a trophy.
Just saying. Then we have one from Avatar Cora. Good to see you, Avatar. Avatar proclaims 2 to 3 miles per hour slowdown on the plate tracks is plenty. NASCAR overreacted. Further, the Avatar proclaims Harvick is a hypocrite and cheater.
Hashtag Cora is not my avatar.
Well, if the Avatar is saying it, I mean, who are we to deny? She's the Avatar, Jared.
That's a step above M. Night Shyamalan. Aang is the true Avatar.
Aang is dead.
Is this the
not
fourth?
To me.
Is this the 4th Harvick meme we've gotten?
Yeah,
so
well, hopefully it stops there. Miss Eric Estep, thank you. Oh, no.
I saw that one.
I love you almost as much as I hate hypocrite. Okay, I'm not going to keep reading the Harvick.
That was a good one.
Thank you, Eric Estep, the second. I
You
love
walked
that
in that
picture. Very nice. Also, another diss on Kevin Hart. Very sweet, son. Now go to sleep. Then we had one from 63 Corvette. And thank you, Philip Richards. Where's Jimmy Spencer? Put him in the booth and the world will burn.
Yeah, where is Jimmy
I didn't
Spencer?
expect that comment to go that direction. And I'm
we need to get him on our show.
I'll read one more, and then we will get to the rest at the very end of the show. This one comes from Todd Blue, our favorite. Todd Blue will nominate himself to speak in the Fox booth on the behalf of all the wonderful people here in the chat. Rip UFO.
Thank you.
Nice. They've held a service for the UFO. On that note, is Komodo Gaming ready to join us here?
Is he ready?
I believe so.
Are you ready?
Right. I don't want to drop him in, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, we're live.
Execute order.
Awesome. Oh, I got to move my screen around.
Yeah, you gotta adjust it. Hello. Can you hear us? Hello.
Yes.
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
How are you guys?
Good.
Fantastic. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I'm moving some things around on OBS so they can see all of our gorgeous faces and those gorgeous helmets behind you. Tell us, so do you collect, what are some of those helmets behind you, if you don't mind me asking? Do you collect them? Are
Let's
they
see. We've got,
special?
Gordon's Daytona from 2000. It's a practice qualifying helmet. There's Kenseth from 2013.
Bruh.
I've got a ton of them back here. There's Mark Martin, Stewart.
What?
Denny Hamlin. I see Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin.
Little backstory on this. Me and Komodo, we talk a lot, and every time he gets a new helmet, I usually get a picture of it.
Oh, that's cool.
I am jealous.
love it.
That is.
That's a nice setup.
You probably need to show Eric the Matt Kenseth one, because he's a big
yeah.
Matt Kenseth fan.
It's over here. This side. It's the Home Depot, or
Is it the red one?
It's the red one.
Yeah, the Home Depot Husky. I have the door. You can barely see it back there. The door to match.
You got the
There
door.
you
Yeah,
go.
right there.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Well, it's great to have you here. Appreciate you bearing with us. We always go a little bit later than expected, but thanks for hanging out. We've seen a lot of your fans and supporters in the chat here tonight, so we can tell they're very excited to see you. That's awesome. But you're just in time to hear us talk about a couple stories really quick before we talk about the Texas All-Star race. So I'm not sure how much you've kept up with the news this week, but feel free to chime in here. We'll begin with a story from the Wood Brothers. This week, the Wood Brothers Racing announced that Greg Irwin is out as Matt DiBenedetto's crew chief, and that he will be replaced by Penske engineer Jonathan Hassler. I'll start with you on this, Jarrett. Are you surprised at all by the move, or do you think it's the right move for DiBenedetto at this point in the season?
Nah, I'm not surprised. And I think something needed to be done, honestly. Like at this point, we talked about earlier how far behind he's running, and in basically a fourth Penske car. So I'm not surprised whatsoever. And I think in a lot of ways, this could be preparing for next year, getting the team ready for the next gen car with a new crew chief, get that crew chief, a little more acclimated, or at least try some more people out. Because I think the way it's looking now, if Keselowski ends up going to Roush, more than likely DiBenedetto will probably get opted back into that last year of his contract, or one of the years of his contract. So no, I'm not surprised at all. Do I think it'll change anything? No, I don't.
On that note, you mentioned the whole Cindric and DiBenedetto thing. So originally the plan was for Cindric to be in the 21, but with it looking like Brad is likely to go to Roush, why would there be any kind of reason to make this change right now and not wait till the end of the season if there wasn't the idea that they keep DiBenedetto actually? Because
exactly,
you could just let this crew chief driver lineup play itself out until they both just poof at the end of the year. But if you're wanting to try to save it and develop, a new crew chief relationship there, that means he's probably got a chance of coming back to it.
Yeah, and also he's exactly 60 points below the cut line at the moment, correct?
Yeah, he's 60 points out.
So perhaps maybe this could be some last-ditch effort to maybe garner some points and stuff like that. I mean, granted, he is 17th, but, a couple top 10s here and there, and then, that 60-point gap could shrink to 10 or something. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But, Matty D is definitely a long-term in that 21 car if they're going to make this move in the middle of the season.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that, Komodo? What do you really think of that?
I was a pretty big Matty D fan for quite a while, but I don't know, this year it just I thought this was gonna be it, or even last year, but it's a little disappointing because I want to believe that he's got the talent, which I still think it's there, but I don't know, they need to change something. And I mean, if you look at some of the other Penske cars earlier in the year, they were running pretty good. And he hasn't been there at all, so it's been really disappointing.
I think only really Kansas he's really stood out to me. He was up front in Kansas for some time.
He did all right with Sonoma for a while.
I'm just surprised he hasn't been good at the road courses since he got to the Wood Brothers. Back in 2019, he was great at the road courses. He's had that standout performance at Bristol, of course, and Oval. But we just haven't gotten back to that since he's joined Wood Brothers, and that has been surprising. But Greg Irwin's been with the team since 2018, so he was there for 2 years with Paul Menard. He's been there now for a year and a half with Matt DiBenedetto. I was looking up his numbers. His only Cup Series wins came with Greg Biffle as his driver back in the Roush days about 10, 11 years ago. So it's been a while for Greg Irwin. We'll see what Jonathan Hassler brings to the table. One other story I want to hit on before we get into our picks and predictions for all of the action this weekend. Justin Marks, this was just broke a couple hours before we went live. Justin Marks, owner, I guess, of Trackhouse Racing, told SiriusXM NASCAR Radio that Trackhouse is looking to field a second full-time car next year. Didn't specifically talk about a driver, though on a separate note, I also heard Kurt Busch on SiriusXM Radio say that Trackhouse is one of the teams that has reached out to him, but he's going to talk to Chip Ganassi before he talks to 2311 or Trackhouse. But so what do you guys think? Darian, we'll start with you. What do you think? Do you think this happens? And who's the driver if they go with it?
Wait. Okay, now this whole Kurt Busch. So Trackhouse reached out to him. He said
that's what he said. He said 2311 and Trackhouse have reached out, but he's going to wait to talk to them until he talks to Ganassi.
This is really exciting. I've been keeping track of Trackhouse and 2311 all season long because the next gen teams, all the hype surrounding these teams. You have Bubba Wallace and Daniel Suarez in them, who NASCAR desperately wants these two drivers to start winning or at the very least running well in the Cup Series. And just to see these teams developing throughout the season, they're so close, they're neck and neck. And right now, I'd probably give the slight edge to Trackhouse at the moment. But seeing them prepare for the future is also going to be another very interesting aspect. And now Trackhouse officially announcing, hey, we might go to a two-car team here and stuff. And now to hear Kurt Busch, might be speaking to both here. Like I mean, Kurt Busch's track record with teams speaks for itself. I mean, there was that whole fiasco at the end of his tenure with Penske, and then sure he had that basically had that lame duck season with Phoenix Racing, and then look what he did with Werner Trudeau in 2013. They didn't make the chase at all before then, and then bring in a new alliance with RCR. Or did they have an alliance with RCR in 2013 or no?
I think so. I believe they did. Or 2013, okay. I don't know actually. That might have been before.
Yeah,
they might have been before then. I'm not certain.
I'm not sure, but go ahead.
I just thought of something brilliant.
Okay.
You have Suarez in a 99, so you put Kurt Busch in a 97.
97. I was just about to say. So like the possibilities are endless here too. But like I said, like I was relating to, like Kurt Busch's track record with teams speaks for itself. So if I'm having a guy like that within one of these next gen teams can really help grow them too. And I think 2311 knows this, and obviously Trackhouse knows this. So they're desperately like, hey, please come to us. Like we'll do better. We're probably, you know what I mean? So it'll be. We'll see what happens with that.
Thinking in that same vein, if he goes to 2311 and he's in the 32, I think it'd be funny as hell if he did a throwback at Darlington to Ricky Craven's car.
Yeah, that'd be an
one that beat him.
8 or 1 he goes with. He's got a good throwback lined up.
So just the competition between these two teams is really, it's neck and neck on and off the track right now to see who's going to be the best ones moving forward, And then also throw in some of the, the potentially new teams we'll have in the sport next year too, colleague, possibly junior motorsports, maybe down the road. You never know.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like looking at 2311 says they want another team. Colleagues might bring 1 or 2 full-time teams next year. Junior motorsports still is a maybe. You're getting to the point where there's so many teams, they're not all going to get charters. So you might start to fill out all your non-chartered slots. We might have 40 cars or more at the track every week next year, which would be a nice change of pace. But I want to ask you, Komodo, where do you think Kurt Busch would be best suited next year, given some of these options?
I mean, if I was Kurt, I would go to Trackhouse because the performance seems better. But I think sponsorship-wise, probably leaning the other way. I mean, with the sponsors Bubba brings and Michael Jordan and all that, I mean, it seems like it's going to be easier to get him a sponsor over there. Trackhouse seems to have a bunch of different sponsors. It seems like every week they kind of change it up. Yeah. So, I mean, if Monster follows him, I mean, he's safe either way, but I would rather him go to Trackhouse, to be honest with you, because I think they've just shown that they're actually really fast right out the gate compared to Bubba and them.
Trackhouse feels more like, I know they're not because they have an alliance with RCR and they have like Pitbull as like an investor, but they feel kind of like an old-fashioned upstart grassroots racing team that's sort of just figuring it out on the fly. They hired guys like Ty Norris, Justin Marks, racers, people who've been in the business for a while to help kind of manage things. And so I am rooting for them to be successful. I think if Kurt Busch goes there or if he goes 2311, he'll be a huge benefit to whichever team he picks, and not only to the teams but to those drivers. Daniel Suarez will be learning from someone who's been there, done that. Same for Bubba Wallace.
And also Bubba Wallace, he's never had a teammate in the NASCAR Cup Series. Like I have to see how his performance would be, once he finally has a teammate he can finally lean off of.
I forget who it was. It might have been Jeff Gluck or Bob Puckers. They were interviewing Denny Hamlin, and Denny admits, like, I'm his teammate. I treat him like a teammate. So
yeah, okay.
It does sound like he's getting to sit in on a lot of the JGR meetings this year. They share a merch hauler at the track, if that means anything. They are tightly.
If you sell merch together, you're basically married. So
is that how it works?
But hey, contract. Trackhouse, they're very interesting. Some other possibilities. I mean, if they looked outside of the Cup Series right now, would that be a good option or no? Just get some experience
for Trackhouse.
Yeah,
I mean, they could go with someone related. They're affiliated with RCR. They could land a Kaz Grala or someone like that, or a Myatt Snyder. Although I don't think Snyder's ready for a full time.
I'd rather have Grala in that ride if I were to pick them.
If Gregson was still like getting wins, I would say maybe him. But now he's looking like he's still needs more time, I guess. I don't know. But I think whoever gets Kurt Busch, that will play into effect of obviously who the other team gets. And I think whichever team doesn't get Kurt, they'll probably end up with an Xfinity guy somehow.
Kurt Busch, highly sought after, like it's the mid-2000s all of a sudden. I don't know. This is crazy.
Riley Herbst. He's got the monster money.
Don't do it.
God.
Don't you do it, Jarrett.
He'll be in the 98
Don't do it.
No. Oh no, it makes too much sense. No,
Oh, no.
Jared, why did you do
Sorry.
this?
No.
My goodness.
I had to. I just had to. I had to keep the meme going.
Well, we've made it to that point of the show. There is a ton of racing to talk about this weekend. So we've got 3 races. They're all at Texas, I believe. Trucks, Xfinity, and then the Cup Series is racing. The All-Star race Sunday night. There's the Open race. There's the All-Star race. Plus the SRX. Komodo, have you? I don't even know your first name. I'm so sorry. I keep calling you Komodo. Is that
You can call me Cody. Cody
Cody.
works.
Cody.
Yeah, that works.
I appreciate it. All right, sweet deal. Cody, have you kept up with the Superstar Racing experience too much? Have you heard about
Yeah. I've kept up with it. I mean, I haven't dug into it a whole lot. Like, I'm still not familiar with like the formats and stuff like that. But I'm still gonna watch it on Saturday. But I'm excited, and then again, I'm kind of on the fence about it because it's a lot of older racers in there, and there's a couple guys in there that I don't think are quite ready for it. But I mean, I'm excited.
It'll be something.
Tune into it. You know.
Have you played or seen any of the SRX video game that came out like suddenly a couple weeks ago?
I actually picked it up. Yeah, I played it. It was fun. It was kind of like NASCAR Heat 5. So I had fun with it for about 10 minutes. Then I'm over it.
So I have to apologize because YouTube like hates to recommend YouTube anymore here lately. I only ever see like the downhill BeamNG stuff that you do. So I haven't seen. Have you gotten it on the channel yet, or are you going to get it out there?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of already too late. Like, you pretty much have to be on something like that, like the first week, and then the hype just kind of dies down from there.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, absolutely. Well, you're going to be at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend, right? Are you going to be there for the whole weekend or just the Cup race on Sunday?
Just the Cup race.
Gotcha. Well, that's going to be awesome. You've been to Texas before then, right?
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, I think the first year I went was, I want to say 06, and then I skipped a couple years and it was 09 until I didn't go last year. That was the first year since 09 that I didn't actually go.
Sweet deal. So we've probably been, because I'm from Houston, so that's the closest track to me up until Circuit of the Americas was added this year. So I've been to Texas Motor Speedway a lot as well. My first race was 05, and I've kind of been hit or miss the last few years for sure. But it's a nice
funny story about that is I've watched your channel a little bit, and I was familiar with who you were. And when I started YouTube about 2016. It was probably 2017, maybe 2018. I passed by you at one of the races. You were coming out of the bathroom. I was like, that's the guy that does those YouTube videos. I was like, man, he's really tall.
Yeah, that's me.
I remember thinking, I was like, yeah, that's what he looks like. He's really tall.
That's probably the first.
I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to be creepy. Because you were walking out of the bathroom or something else.
Hey, someone at Kodo stopped me in line for the bathroom. He was like the 60-year-old man. So I've seen the worst, but that's hilarious. That's awesome.
Really quick, before we get into it, I wanted to ask, because all of you guys brought it up to me before you came on, Cody. What do you? I don't know if you've heard my proposition for what I would do to Texas Motor Speedway, but I wanted to know what you thought about it. Turn that baby into a 3-mile super speedway.
Why not? Anything helps.
I would go with the short track. Do what they're doing to California and just shorten it. You don't need the grandstands anymore. There's way too many, so shorten it. Because obviously, ever since the little redo they did, that turn 1 and 2 is it's not right. It's not right at all. You watch Indy cars there, you watch NASCAR. It's so wide, but you can't use any of it. It's really bad.
Yeah,
basically useless.
Yeah, it's.
We're all in agreement. We're all in agreement. Just change it.
Yeah, short track or super speedway. Probably short track, because I think that'd be pretty cool to see. But
everything's bigger in Texas.
Give it the most banking of any super.
Yeah, let's have the most banking or something. We don't need a big track.
Just 90
50-degree banking.
Just a wall of cars, an actual wall.
Just 90-degree banking. You got to be going 400 miles an hour to make it through that.
So it's slinger. It's slinger.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Awesome. Well,
I'm down.
I like it. We have a full slate of action. Saturday is jam-packed, so let's run through some TV schedules and stuff for you. Starting with Saturday, the truck race is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Radio will be PRN. The Xfinity Series race will be Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, also on FS1 and PRN. And then Saturday night on CBS will be the Superstar Racing Experience from Stafford, Connecticut, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for that. Moving on to Sunday, the Cup Series race, the All-Star race, begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with the Open on FS1 and MRN for radio, the Motor Racing Network, and the All-Star race main event begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So Saturday, especially from lunchtime to sundown and beyond, is full of oval racing action. So talking about the weather, because it is hot in Texas, mid-90s both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday's looking really good, mostly sunny, really no chance of rain, so we're probably not going to get anything like we did last year. And actually Saturday as well. Now that I'm looking at it, Saturday, very little. It says 0% chance of rain. Last we looked at it. I'll believe it when I see it. Seems like it always rains at Texas. You said you weren't at the race last year, Cody, but did you keep up with the race that spanned across like 4 days that they ran on a Wednesday night?
I did keep up with that one.
But you weren't there. You weren't trapped.
No,
there,
I didn't.
like
I didn't
me.
get trapped there.
Well, I was only there. I left after Sunday. I didn't stick around the whole week. But,
Yeah, it was like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I gave up on the Monday. I think I was just like, I don't need to watch this.
It was.
I was traveling during that time. I started watching the race on Sunday at Tennessee, and I finished watching it in New Hampshire.
You ran about as many miles as they did, I think.
Yeah.
As for Stafford, because that's where the SRX will be, 71 degrees. There's morning showers expected, 55% chance of rain. Hopefully that clears up by the time the race is going green in the evening. Jarrett, do you have the All-Star race format like handy to read? Because I do not. And it's complicated.
Dude,
I'll pull up Bob Pockrass's Twitter, but even Bob got confused.
It's a whole
Honestly,
novel.
You could read it, and I think it would go in one ear out the other. There's a lot of inverts. There's like 8 stages.
Does he have to read it so much?
All right, let me find it. It's actually taken a while to load up the picture of it. This is
you've frozen on our screen, or at least on my screen.
Oh,
Here's the rules. If you just go around, we'll ask you politely if you want to win, and you win.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's not even coming up now.
Well, we'll just play it by. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff. Kyle Larson starting on the pole for the main event. It was a random draw. What else goes? Everything's going his way at this point. It's kind of ridiculous. So, talking about the pick points, because we are now 16 races in this year, and Cody, you're picking on behalf of the guests, and the guests have made some serious progress in our season-long point standings. They were at the bottom for the longest time, but they've had a couple good weeks in a row. They're up to 3rd. So right now, Jarrett still leads our points. He's got 253 total. I'm 16 points back, within striking distance. 42 points back is the guests. The chat, you guys, 48 points back. Danny is 50 back, and Darian bringing up the rear, my man, 62 points back. Gotta turn things around quick.
That is so terrible. Oh,
fantastic. Well, the way we do things here, Cody, is we go through. We have a lot of picks to make this week. We'll start with the Truck Series. We'll then do Xfinity. We'll go in chronological order. Then we'll do the SRX. We pick a winner for those 3 races, one at a time, and then when we get to the Cup Series race, we have a who's gonna suck pick, like someone who maybe typically runs well, who is gonna struggle this weekend. We think we have a dark horse, someone who might surprise us with a good run, and then we have our win pick for Cup. So we'll coach you through it as you go. It's pretty simple, but just so you have all these picks in mind. Let's begin with the Truck Series. Who wants to lead us off? Who wins the truck race Saturday afternoon? Darian, you're moving around a lot. Do you have a pick?
I'm trying to see who's. Is there Kyle Busch? Is he in it or no?
I believe he's not. Isn't he in the He's in the Xfinity race? I know. I don't think he's in the truck. Although I will double check. Because that is good to know.
And hold on, where's the Truck Series racing at this weekend? Texas, right?
I think they're all Texas.
Yeah, they're all Texas.
Oh, they're all at Texas. Okay, just making sure. Okay, I think. Yeah, John Hunter Nemechek. I'm just gonna stay with him. John Hunter.
Yeah, Kyle's not racing. Drew Dollar is racing in the 51.
Okay, John Hunter Nemechek for me.
I'm gonna go second, and I'm saying someone y'all might have forgotten in this race, Chase Elliott.
No, yeah, I forgot Chase Elliott is in this race. Darian's face.
What truck is he running again?
The 24.
Okay.
Good times.
Yeah.
Cool.
Chase Elliott's a fun pick. You know, I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott as well. That's who you're picking, Danny.
Yep, I'm going with Chase
I'll
Elliott.
go Chase as well. Why not?
God bless it. This is why I should pick first from now on. Mine is Chase Elliott too.
All right, there we go. What about you, Cody?
As much as I want to go with Chase, I'm still gonna probably go with John Hunter. I feel
Solid
like
pick.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to beat him.
Yeah, I will throw out. I almost picked Austin Hill. I feel like he's always good at mile and a halves, but they don't have a win yet this year, do they?
No,
they just haven't shown the speed consistently.
Yeah.
So I think we got all Chase Elliott and John Hunter Nemecheks, and actually that's what the chat looks like as well. The chat's almost all Nemecheks, and I feel like I'm seeing
a lot of Creed in there now.
There are a lot of Creeds.
I want to bring up Kyle earlier before the show told us Zane Smith was his pick.
Oh boy, well, he's really going on a limb.
So basically, what we're doing is we're taking Cody's pick and we're taking Kyle's pick, and whichever has the better finish of those, that's the guest.
Oh
pick
man, the guest has a big advantage this week. I looks like I don't want to waste too much time just staring at a bunch of names scrolling by the screen. So unless you guys see something clearly different. I think it's Nemechek. Creed is probably second, or maybe Chase.
I'm saying way more Creed, honestly.
I see some iCarly's. I don't know where that's coming from. Is that show out yet? Did they like the
June 17th. June 17th.
You marked the calendar, huh, Darian?
Yeah, I know the date.
That's literally the day we'll all be together. We need to watch it somehow.
Go ahead and give him Creed because two of us picked Nemechek. Make it something different.
I'm saying way more Creed, honestly.
Yeah, so. It's definitely more competitive than it was a second ago. Alrighty. So moving on. Let's move on to the Xfinity Series race later Sunday afternoon. Who do you got, Darian? Kick us off.
Kyle Busch. He's racing in there, so Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch.
I need to refresh my memory because I don't want to pick Kyle Busch. Well, Jarrett, you can go first. You said you wanted to go
Kyle
first.
Busch.
Oh, you guys are lame. Who do we got here?
Never bet against Kyle Busch in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah.
It is Texas, though.
Yeah, he's also won a lot of Texas.
Dang, the Xfinity Series field. Oh man, Reddick's not even racing in Jordan's car this week. Yeah, all right, fine. Kyle Busch.
It's a thin field this week.
We'll go with Kyle Busch.
Oh, but that is cool to see that Jordan Anderson is trying to race.
He is racing him.
Finally. Yeah, nice.
Who's your pick, Cody? The chat seems like they're going with KFB. That's what it looks like.
I feel like I need to change it, so let's go with who won there last year. Was it Harrison Burton?
It was.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, we'll go with Harrison. I got to change it from Kyle.
That'll be fun.
And Kyle picked Kyle, so.
All right, well, there we go. He's your safety valve on that play.
Yeah.
All righty. I think the chat's probably Kyle Busch because it either says Busch, Kyle, or KFB.
Rowdy.
Yeah, there's a lot. He has a lot of pseudonyms.
Kyle.
Is that the right word? Something like that.
Hey, what's with Kyle Busch doing all these like memes like about his wife and like you know what I'm saying?
We're not going to get into that. This is a PG stream.
I don't know what the hell's going on there.
I think if you ever visit an In-N-Out, do not get a milkshake.
That stuff is for an OnlyFans stream, not for a YouTube stream.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. That's Instagram. That's supposed to be family friendly. Oh goodness. All right, well, moving on to the Superstar Racing Experience. They're making their debut. Greg Biffle is racing. Tony Kanaan's racing this week. Hailie Deegan is not racing this week. But it's Tony Stewart, the four-time Indy 500 champ, Helio Castroneves. It's a stacked field with, yes, as Cody was correct in mentioning, a lot of older guys. We'll see how – I'll be curious to see how, like, Bill Elliott stacks up or Michael Waltrip. You know, that's who I'm really curious to see if they're remotely competitive. But starting with you, Darian, who wins the SRX debut?
By the way, these aren't for points. This is just for fun.
Oh, what? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I thought that's what we said.
Oh, that's right. I did say that last week.
Yeah,
all right, I got to hold myself to it. I'm into it this week.
My heart says Michael Waltrip. I think my heart also says Michael Waltrip's going to win the championship. But realistically, let's get back to reality here. Tony Stewart or Bobby Labonte, I think those two are going to be duking it out for the inaugural SRX championship and in the inaugural SRX race this weekend as well. I think Bobby Labonte edges out Tony Stewart this weekend.
You know what? It is a nice day, June 9th. And I'm going to say the 69 car, Greg Biffle, will win this weekend.
I can't believe they gave him the 69 car. That is
it's
so
perfect.
Funny.
It's great. I love it.
So good.
Now Rouse Racing needs to give him a one-off deal and let him run the 69.
Oh gosh. So I was gonna go with Biffle as well, but Danny, his punchline was better than mine, so I'll let him have Biffle. I'll go with Bobby Labonte. I think I agree with you, Darian. I think he and Tony Stewart will be routinely the two most competitive drivers in this series. Bobby Labonte's been fresh. He's been behind the wheel of those modified cars this year. He's ready. I think he is ready for this. So I think Bobby Labonte wins.
So I'm going to take, since this isn't for points, I'm going to take a page out of Darian's book here. Mikey.
I like how you said this not for points, so you really don't think he's going to win.
No, I don't, but I'm going to pick him just for sentimental sake.
So, Cody, I don't know if you know the backstory on this. What was it? When you reached 15,000 subscribers, is that what it was?
Yes, it was. Yes.
When he reached 15,000 subscribers, he said Michael Waltrip's name 15,000 times.
On a live stream.
Straight up. Yeah.
Why?
It's still up.
I put him up to it.
Hey, he put me up to it. I was going to do 5,000 at first. But...
You ran into Michael Waltrip on the grid at Homestead, Darian, and I was there, and you told him, you shook his hand, looked him in the eye, and said, "I said your name 15,000 times on a live stream."
and
he
know
didn't
what he said in response? No, you know what he said in response?
Yeah.
He's like, I need a picture of you.
There's a pause.
just for the content, you know. And I think that stream's about to hit 10,000 views too, so it was a success.
That's so funny. That's incredible. Awesome. Cody, who's your pick for SRX?
It's kind of hard to go with anybody else, but either Stewart or Labonte. But I guess we'll go with Stewart. I think he's going to be really, really tough to beat. Labonte's going to be good too, but other than that, I'm not really sure how everybody else is going to do. It's been a while since a lot of them been in cars or it's open.
Willie T. Ribs is 66 years old, bro. He's so
dumb question, Cody. Have they got SRX yet on BeamNG?
No, nobody's.
Okay.
I can check and see if anybody's working on it.
They need to get that. That'd be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, so we all picked NASCAR people. You know, we weren't going with Tony Kanaan or Castroneves.
Speaking of something different from NASCAR, with it, Ray Evernham confirmed today that they will not have spotters for this race.
I did see that. Yeah.
Or for this series, I should say.
Yeah.
So someone's gonna spin out. Ah!
Yeah, like wait, what? So there's no spot? Okay, all right.
Well, according to Ray Evernham, they have mirrors they can see.
Okay. Dude, I just hope that does not age
have we tested the safety of these cars yet?
I don't, I just hope that quote doesn't age poorly, please.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
Well,
so if something happens, we'll see.
Hopefully there's no tragedy Saturday night, and we'll move on to Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
the
all I'm saying, I was in the grandstand.
Right. Oh. Go ahead, Danny. We're looking at the chat. We want to see who the chat's picking.
I was in the grandstands at Bristol Motor Speedway when they decided to put a bunch of old drivers into late models, and I don't know if they had spotters for that one.
Oh, and also let me add to this too. Back in Charlotte of 2002, there was this ARCA wreck. I'm sure people have seen it. The dude was just he was just stopped in the middle of the freaking track on the straightaway, and one driver just plows through him, and he unfortunately passed away. So after that, NASCAR implemented spotters be on the stands at all times when the drivers are on the track. So I don't know, just hearing no spotters, that's I don't know. I think doesn't sound good.
The chat is split between Biffle, Castroneves, and Tony Stewart. Since this isn't for points, I say give him Castroneves so we have an open wheel guy.
Why not? Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
All right.
Sweet deal.
Good to me.
All right, so we've made it to the Cup Series rounds. We do this 3 rounds. So firstly, beginning with you, Darian, who's going to suck in the All-Star race this weekend?
Wait, do we do anything for the All-Star Open?
Should we?
Who cares? Yeah.
Reddick's on pole. I think he'll win the first stage.
I guess you can just have an idea of who you think would advance and if you expect them to do good or not.
Yeah, sure.
Who's gonna suck?
Yeah, who's gonna suck?
He doesn't really do good in the All-Star race.
Is Custer locked in? Because he's my pick.
Custer. Yeah, he is locked in. That's right.
Oh, forgot about the...
Easy. That's right. Cole Custer, easily.
Not to make it. Yeah, not to feed you answers or anything.
Thank you, Eric.
But he does start 4th.
Nope, still sucks.
Could be his high point of the night.
Yeah. 4th and he falls like a rock. Well, he just hasn't been doing it.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're trashing Cole Custer. I actually want to know, Cody, who's your favorite driver in the Cup Series today?
It's a toss-up right now. It's Chase Elliott or Kyle Larson.
Okay, so you're a Hendrick guy. Yeah. I was just sitting there we're trashing Cole Custer. What if you're like, oh, they're trashing my boy, Cole Custer. Jeez. I have his helmet right here, his rookie year helmet right here. I can't believe this. What are they doing?
It's completely fine. He's safe.
Who's your pick, Jared? Or I don't know if we all made the same pick, but Jared, who's yours?
I actually went with Michael McDowell.
He's also locked in.
That's right.
Good point.
Yeah, I saw him on there. I'm like, man, I like you, but not.
He's still technically, I think, 16th in points, even with.
He's still maintaining.
What about you, Cody? Who's gonna suck?
Custer. McDowell.
Nice.
I think any Haas car. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even Harvick for how good he is at Texas. I don't think it really matters at the moment.
Probably fair. One guy spamming Austin Dillon in the chat, so I don't think they're going with Austin Dillon. I see a lot of Custers. Stenhouse isn't locked in. So
I still need to make a pick.
Oh, I thought you. Sorry, I thought you were on the
Daddy.
Custer train.
No, I'm actually saying Ryan Newman.
Okay, it's not bad.
Really?
Is he locked in? He's locked in because he's a former All-Star winner, I assume, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Because he won it years ago.
Yeah.
In his rookie season, I believe. I think he was the second one to win in his rookie year.
I thought there used to be a
wasn't it 2 years in a row, both Newman and then Earnhardt Jr.?
Yeah.
No, Junior won it. Junior won in 2000. Yeah.
Junior won
that's
2000. Newman won, I think, in 02.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Over Junior.
I just gotta say, I saw someone say, "Can't wait to see Iwuji win the fan vote."
Oh, jeez.
Is he racing? He's racing in the trucks at least.
If he had him a ride, I swear.
Yeah, maybe.
Chat is kind of all over the place. I feel like I've seen the most Custers. I've also seen a lot of Almirolas, but he's not locked in, I don't think. He'd have to get in through the open, so I feel like we can't go with him. But maybe we can. I'm going to say Custer, just so we don't sit here forever waiting for the chat to come to a consensus. That's 600 people. That's going to be hard to do. Next up is the dark horse pick, the underdog for this weekend. Darian, who do you got surprising us on Sunday?
Tyler Reddick. He'll show out. He's not locked in yet, but could race his way in to the All-Star race straight up, and then who knows, could mount a charge in the race. So Tyler Reddick, and he finished second here in the summer of 2020 as well. So
true.
Just FYI.
I like that. I will go a similar route. I'll actually go Austin Dillon. I think Austin Dillon, he's locked in because of his win at Texas last year, which obviously was strategy helped him out quite a bit. But the RCR cars have been fast. I think he might sneak into the top 5, and you just never know. A lot of restarts and a lot of inverts. He could be in the right place at the right time.
Danny.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say he gets in for the All-Star Open, not necessarily with the fan vote, but by winning and getting in. I'm gonna say Bubba Wallace would be underdog for this one.
So I'm actually going to pick, Danny, your suck pick of Newman, because those Roush cars have been actually pretty fast on the 1.5 miles. Maybe don't have the finishes to show for it. And I think that Newman will be a, 5th to 10th place running driver in this race.
I like it. What about you, Cody?
I'm probably going to go with Daniel Suarez. I do think he's going to race his way in. I mean, looking at the field, I think Reddick for sure gets in, but I think Suarez is up there. So I'll go with him.
I hope we see that. That'd be really fun if he races his way. In the open race, I feel like this was even the case last year with Bristol being the All-Star race. The open is often the more entertaining race, at least the last few years.
The desperate race, the desperation race. Is what I like
last year you had all the drama between McDowell and Bubba.
That's right.
So.
That was
being in the stands for that month, that was crazy. I was like, what the hell? That was nuts.
Chat, suddenly a big swarm for actually really just 2 guys spamming Suarez. Let's see, where have you guys been paying attention to?
I've been seeing a lot of Reddick.
All right,
yeah,
I did see a lot of Reddicks
and
earlier.
Busher.
Yeah, it's just one guy. It's just
Reddick.
Suarez.
I think he's starting on the pole in the open. I think he's definitely going to make his way into the main event. We'll see what he can do from there. So that means all that's left, Darian, is who's going to win the All-Star race.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win at? I was about to say Sonoma for the second week in a row. Who's gonna win at Texas?
Well, it might as well be Sonoma.
Yeah,
because I think this result's going to be the same.
Okay, I'm just curious. Could we say it at the count of 3? I think we're all.
No. There's 5 of us. Do you think we all have the same pick? Jared definitely does. Darian, do you have the same pick as at least the other 3 of us?
I have no clue.
You don't know what we're doing. You don't know what's
I mean, you know I'm a big Bowman fan.
Yeah,
I'm getting thrown for a loop. All right, Darian starts off. Who wins at Texas?
I'm just gonna go with Kyle Larson here, man. I know he's on. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just he's on a roll, dude. And like, I don't know, just those Hendrick cars are just so fast, man. And sure, it's the All-Star race, but I don't know, man. Just I'm not gonna bet against him anymore. Kyle Larson, man.
Yeah, I mean the Hendrick cars are fast, and he's coming from 15th. No, Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I will say I'm tempted to say Kyle Busch because he did win the last time we raced at Texas, and he also won at Kansas a few weeks ago, which is kind of a somewhat similar mile and a half. But man, he hasn't finished worse than second in a month. Kyle Larson, I'm afraid to bet against him.
Rinse, wash, repeat. That's all I have to say.
Kyle Larson.
So you're rooting for the Tide car. I see. Okay.
No.
So, Cody, it's up to you.
Larson.
Oh, one of us.
Kyle
He's
is
assimilated.
Larson, too.
It's hard not to go like against
So
him.
if Kyle Larson doesn't win, no one gets any points.
I think we'd all get 10.
Yeah.
Nothing would change. So basically actually,
the chat's saying Chase Elliott, I think.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
That's what it looks like to me. Larson's probably second, but I've seen a lot of Elliott's. Now I'm seeing more Larsons. Okay, I don't know. It's.
Well, I'm looking right now at this, and
it's Elliott. I just saw 6 in a row.
Oh yeah, here comes the Elliots. They're coming. Oh yeah, it's a lot of Chase Elliott.
Yeah, it's a lot of Chase Elliott's here.
Hey, he won it last year, but that was a way different track, guys.
Hey, the chat's going out on a limb. They live and die by Chase. That's how it be.
I guess we're giving him Chase.
Give him Chase, and we'll all take the real winner.
And watch he blows up lap 1.
See now that everyone's picked the same pick, I'm tempted. I'm very tempted to change mine.
Can't take him back.
Jarrett wrote it down already.
That's right. It's in the rules.
I was just looking. I'm looking. Me, Eric, and Danny all chose the exact same people for Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing will change this week.
Hey, maybe we
and I'm the one who's down 50 points.
Maybe we should make the SRX count for points this week, Jarrett, and I'll let you change your pick.
Honestly, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
How about winner of the SRX one gets just whoever has the highest finisher gets 3 bonus points.
Just has to.
All right, perfect.
Whoever gets last has to buy dinner when we're all in Nashville in a couple weeks.
Ooh, I like that one.
We don't have to do that.
Hey, I have a great lunch idea for you guys on that Thursday.
Oh yeah. That's
is it
oh
the one
yeah.
that you
Oh
took?
yeah.
Oh, that's
that thing.
inside joke. Nobody's gonna get.
Yeah.
Nobody gets it.
How about this? We put it between the bonus points for a win for Cup and Xfinity, but it doesn't count towards sweeping the weekend. How about that?
Okay,
Sure.
Sure. Do you want to change your
4
pick,
bonus
Jarrett?
points.
You gonna keep Mikey?
I'll go Stewart.
Oh, right. I don't even remember who I picked. I already forgot.
You picked Labonte like me.
Oh yeah.
I picked the Biff, and honestly, I'll stick with that. I think he could do pretty good there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't
Nice.
actually being serious, and I didn't know it was for points. That's the only reason we can change that one, but
Yeah, no, that's fair.
everything else.
Well, that was fun. Thank you so much, Cody, Komodo Gaming, for hanging out with us and doing picks. What are you most excited about at Texas this weekend? You've been plenty of times before, but this is Eddie Gossage's last race as track president. Like, is he going to go out on the bang?
Okay with that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna cry? Are you sure?
No.
Not gonna lose any sleep.
No tears. I'm looking at it a little bit different this time. Like normally I kind of go for a race, but I think this one I'm going for the show, and I'm not sure what kind of show we're gonna get because it could be really bad, and it could be bad in a good way and a bad way. So
Yeah, so bad it's good. That's what
I
think is gonna
don't
happen.
look at this like a race anymore, like the All-Star. This is just gonna be for show. That's. I mean, I guess it's the only way to really look at it because I don't really know what's gonna happen.
We don't even know where to start with the format. That's the thing about being there in person. I hope on that big TV, I hope they do a good job of like showing you guys in the stands what's actually going on, because I feel like I'll get lost even watching at home with all the data.
They're gonna make
available.
the crowd do algebra. Take out the calculators.
Yeah,
Like,
literally,
okay,
it's
put
like-
together average finish.
Hey, hearing what you just said there, Eric, contrary to popular belief, although you live in Texas, you're not going to the
No, I
All-Star
will
race,
not
are
be there
you?
this year, unfortunately. No.
Oh.
Because you're getting ready to come out to Tennessee.
To Nashville, which is next week.
Gonna be fun.
That's gonna be cool.
Well, big thank you to you, Komodo Gaming, for being on the show. I keep using your channel name because people, if they're not already, should go subscribe to your stuff. Is there anywhere else that you'd like to point people to besides your highly successful YouTube channel?
Basically, it's the same name across the board. So you've got Instagram, Twitter, and the YouTube channel, obviously.
Yeah, y'all need to go follow him on Instagram. You're way underrated on the Instagram right now. You need to get those followers up some for you.
Yeah, we just started that, and that wasn't even my decision. That was more like the manager's decision. It's like, you need to do this. I was like, all right.
I don't know if you already have them there, but you got to post photos of the helmets. Some nice
he's got one right there.
Oh, nice.
Of some Denny Hamlin ones.
Oh, that's
there.
worth a follow right there.
Nice.
That's cool.
Awesome.
That's
well, we're going to start to wrap up the show, but thank you so much,
right.
Cody, for joining us. I know the chat really, really loved it. Have fun at Texas this week, and I hope it's not too hot, and I hope it's a great show.
It's going to be something. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Good having you on.
Yep.
Later.
All right. Finally, to wrap this episode up, we will get to the rest of your super chats. Thank you all so much for the support tonight. Oh, whoops. I had them pulled up and then I did not.
Eric.
I know, not good at this. Goodness gracious. Thank you all so much for the support tonight. We left off with Preston. Ty Gibbs is great, but he's a very sore loser. He said what the dinger did was dirty, but look at what Ty did at Daytona. He drove through the grass, but Tim, that's not dirty. No, that was not a dirty move. I agree with you. AJ Allmendinger's move was not that bad. Ty Gibbs, he's
that's just racing.
He'll learn. Xavier, thank you. Hot take: Kurt Busch joins the Fox broadcast booth next year, and Ford goes winless for the rest of the season. Whoa, I don't know about that.
Wow.
I mean, Penske, SHR is not the only Ford team out there. To keep in mind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew. The only reason Michael McDowell didn't fight Daniel Suarez after the race is because he knows Suarez will just drop him to the ground like last time.
Yeah. You don't
Probably
want
some
that
truth to that. Platinum Paradise. I like the super speedway change. The wrecks got to the point of making the sport look bad. There will be less torn up cars and still exciting racing. We'll see. They're still gonna be in a pack. So one guy gets sideways, 20 cars wreck. So
it happens.
We'll just see. Daniel Shell asks, was Darian even born after Jar Jar? Before Jar Jar?
He was born before 99.
Yeah, the prequels started in 99.
Yeah,
we're all
okay,
older
so
than the prequels.
I was born in 97, so I am older, right?
Yeah. I think you're the second oldest. I'm the oldest. Who's second oldest?
I think it was Darian, right? I'm 23 with my birthday in November.
Mine's in July.
My birthday's in November.
So when's your birthday, Jared? I always forget.
November 1st.
Oh, sweet.
Wait,
all right.
And y'all are all how old again?
So I'm the youngest then, because I'm November 18th.
I'm 23, about to be 24. So
23 going on 24.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm the old man, 25, about to be 26.
Hey, that's because you own a house, Danny.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
you're right. I own a house. I have a pickup truck. I have a boat. Yeah, I'm an old man.
And meanwhile, I have the cheapest rent in human history. So I love it.
Yeah, maybe I need to find if I can find a cheap one, buy you a cane and bring it down to Nashville this week.
Hey kids!
Hey kids!
Get off my lawn!
Oh, no, get a skateboard. Hey, fellow kids!
I love how someone says I'm 30 in the chat. I'm like, no, I'm 23.
I look like I'm 28. Are you kidding me?
When I cut all this hair off and actually cut my hair and beard and everything, I legitimately look my age.
Hey, I never age. This is great. This is perfect.
I saw your high school photo today.
I'm still going to look like this when I'm 40, hopefully. So.
Well, thank you, Hot, for the $10 super chat. Hot take, Colleague was sus at Mid-Ohio. I was there. Burton wrecks with 8 to go for a caution. Then Haley wrecks Cindric on the restart. Sussy, love Colleague, though. Well, they're conspiracy theorists galore. Here we go. Alexander, thank you. Alexander Gamerson. All in favor of Kyle Larson winning the championship this year? Say aye. Let's get that going in the chat. Yay or nay in favor of Larson winning it all. Thank you, Daniel. Gordon Hendrick Motorsports. Could see that. The weather forecast is going to be very hot in Texas. That comes from Wayne Montgomery. Yeah, that is. We looked at that. That is true. Ryan Blaney is Rainbow Road says, I watch Komodo. Glad he's on the show. That's awesome.
On the what?
Daniel says, if Cindric goes to the 2, I didn't get it. I didn't know what he was.
I didn't get it.
I thought you were about to say something else.
I thought you were going to say he said he's on the show.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, it definitely sound like that.
Daniel, thank you. If Cindric goes to the 2, do any Xfinity sponsors go with the 2? I mean, who does he have that isn't just like a Penske sponsor? Or who?
Oh, that's a Penske sponsor.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll have sponsorship wherever he goes. Thank you, Alexander Gamerson again. New NASCAR marketing idea: NASCAR racers in Smash. What's the fighting game where there's actually like a stock car like that is like fighting? It's like from like the 90s or something.
I can't remember.
Transformers?
It might be.
No.
I don't know. I saw a clip of it and it reminded me of it. I forget what game. It's like a famous game. It's maybe like the first ever Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or something. I have no idea.
There was a stock car and I don't know.
Maybe it was like a mod or something. But it was literally I saw like some like Japanese fighter guy going up against just like a 1990s NASCAR
Mortal
stock car
Kombat.
that was like punching him with his tires. I was like, what is that? Yeah, what?
Sounds like a Family Guy skit.
Chat, y'all gotta. I saw this. I saw it with my own eyes.
Help him find this game.
Edible Giraffe, scale of 1 to 10. How much are you anticipating the release of NASCAR 21?
Pretty much I'm a good 9 right now. I can't wait for it.
I just want to see. I want to see a commercial at this point.
Yeah, I just want to see some game footage and gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the last ones I was like at a 4 or a 5, so I'd say my like a 6 or 7 now. But yeah. I'm willing to jump that up a bit.
From Ryan, will you guys be hosting or coordinating some kind of meetup at Nashville, specifically on Sunday? We're still kind of working on it. We've got a busy week.
If there is a Jeff Gluck tweet up, I think for sure you'll see us at that.
Yeah, I won't miss it like I did at Coda. Walk by.
Hold you to it. Johnny G, going to the SRX race Saturday. They're running an all-star modified race beforehand. Priest might be running that as Stafford is his own home track. That's awesome. They have another series doubling up with it. I didn't know they were going to do that. That's smart.
That's cool.
Blue Jimmy fan also says SRX Saturday. Can't wait to be there. Have fun, Blue Jimmy fan. Another one from Daniel. Make Bowman win Texas and burn it down.
Hey, sure. Got $1 million too.
From Alexander. Hey, Eric, can you still do your Brad Keselowski impression from the NASCAR parody series? That was just my voice, but pretending to sound drunk.
Yeah, I don't even remember what that one sounded like.
It was just like this. It was just like, I'm kind of drunk, I guess. Shit, just slurring my words a little.
I'm just chilling.
Look, guys, you're on Sports Center.
On Sports Center.
Wait,
yes.
you got to crack your voice too to be Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, I was younger.
We finally caught a break, Paul.
Yeah, I used to be able to crack my voice more.
Brad Keselowski.
That reminds me real quick. Can I take a minute to mention the reason I left the podcast earlier?
Sure. Go
right
ahead.
Why?
Sure.
Because I received this giant box from Nashville Super Speedway, and inside of this bad boy,
whiskey.
We got
whiskey?
A shirt.
Nice.
We do have this hat from.
That's whiskey.
I hear whiskey.
That's
This is from
whiskey
Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey.
Nice.
And where's that bad boy?
Where's my harmonica at?
Hey, there we go.
Nice.
Danny, we should do a stream with you drinking that.
I've had whiskey one time, and gosh, it is very strong. So I'm curious how this could. I ain't having this all by myself.
Hey, it's Nashville Super Speedway brand.
I'll have some of that.
Oh, and they did also give me these cool Nashville Super Speedway whiskey glasses for it too.
Dang, they hooked you up, my man.
And we got the solo cups too from Nashville.
Perfect
Super
for when
Speedway.
we're in town.
And we got some lottery tickets because the Tennessee Education Lottery 250.
Go win big, Danny B. That's awesome.
One of them's a free ticket, so I'm a winner.
Nice. Is Darian the next Jeff Gordon? Nice iRacing win. That comes from Groovy Goose.
Oh, yeah. No, that's just a hosted lobby. It's not impressive.
Kramer, Komodo, I'm a big fan of your videos. So cool to see you. I'm so glad so many people were excited to see Komodo gaming. I know I got a lot of comments this afternoon that were like, what? Like surprised, but he's a big NASCAR fan, so it's great to have him on.
You guys see him do videos all the time where he does downhill stuff with NASCAR stuff. That's because he's legit just a big NASCAR fan.
Heck yeah. Ryan says the Biff will win this weekend in the number 69. Nice. Will says can't wait to see Jesse Awuji win the fan vote. That was the comment you saw earlier.
Yeah.
Alex, you got me thinking about this a while ago. For everyone, who was the worst driver you've ever seen in NASCAR? Mika Duno for me. She was naturally the spelling and stuff on this.
Oh, the IndyCar chick.
Slow. At Bristol, I swear she was like 2 to 3 tenths off Mike Harmon.
Damn.
That's rough. Anyone who's a couple tenths off Mike Harmon, that's NASCAR.
He's too big to be running behind me.
Oh my god. You can tell we've gone over the 2 hours.
I mean, does she really count? I mean, it's always going to be Tia Norfleet for me. So.
Yeah, I was about to say Tia Norfleet. Yeah, there's like no other
Tia for the L.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if you told me I'm gonna go see a one-on-one race between Angela Ruck and Tia, Angela would smoke her. I'd bet.
Dude, I would pay to see that. Daniel asked, "What's the gimmick? Format this year?" all of it, everything. Final few super chats. Thank you guys for the support. Preston, now that all of you picked Larson, he's going to blow it on a restart like he did at Kansas when all of Fox picked him as the one to watch.
We're not going to lose anyway.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's a net.
Well, unless the chat.
Yeah, chat's going to have a big weekend. Steve, thank you. It was really great getting to catch a live episode. I always see the replays. Keep doing what y'all are doing. Y'all rule. Thank you so much, Steve Castaneda. Thank you so much. Another one from Alexander Gamerson. If you could choose what number you would want on the new 2311 car, which one would you choose? 32, 45, or 65?
32
would look
45.
natural.
45, MJ.
Bulls fans don't like number 45 was not as
not as popular.
I'm still confused why he couldn't just. I know they retired it, but why can't he just have his number back?
I think there had to be an official
sell more
thing
jerseys.
they had to go through for it.
LeBron's chasing his jersey again this year just to sell more of them. Yeah,
just 6
now everyone needs a 6 instead of a 23.
Is that how many times he's choked out of the playoffs in the last couple of years?
I think that actually might be the number, but
this is worth mentioning for the last question. Claudia just texted me Derek Cope at Daytona this year.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Preston Friels, I'll read this one because it's actually kind of funny. What do Trevor Bauer, Garrett Cole, Kevin Harvick, and Toyota all have in common? They're all massive cheater boys.
Cheater boys. More cheater boys.
Gosh. Groovy
How you gonna call him a cheater boy when he ain't winning? Come on.
Groovy Goose says, Eric, we share a birthday. November 18th is Groovy Day. I don't know if I believe him, but that's awesome if me and Groovy Goose actually do have the same birthday. And then one more from Hot. You guys should collectively react to F24 Life race meme reviews. They're top notch. I'm not familiar. Are you guys familiar with?
I'm not familiar.
Whatever that is.
Who?
F24 Life.
Oh, I never heard of. I'll look them.
We'll check it. We'll check it out for sure. But that's gonna do it for super chats. What's going on, Jarrett?
I'm just standing up. My legs are tired.
I thought I heard somebody say something.
I was going to say, we'll all be together. Maybe we can just try to look up one of their videos together sometime.
We'll do it. In case the videos are really scary, we'll be able to keep each other company.
Yeah. That actually brings up what we got going on for next week.
Absolutely. Danny. Next week's a big show, Danny.
Yeah, so these guys are traveling in. I expect traffic to be awful, so it will just be myself. I'll be broadcasting from upstairs in my NASCAR room.
Hold down the fort for us.
2-hour power hour of Danny B doing the NASCAR Weekly podcast.
Bass fishing tips.
Yeah. We're going to spend a good hour and a half talking about the career and glorious career of Alex Bowman, how he's the best driver ever.
I like it.
I'm full of crap. These guys will be with me, and I am so happy to have all of them being the host for the week. We've got a lot of big things planned. Especially on that Thursday, which is going to be our fun day. Don't want to say anything about what we'll be doing, but we are looking forward to our plans for sure. And hopefully, if you see, we'll probably mostly be together most of the weekend at Nashville. So sometimes we might go off and do our own thing. Mostly we'll be together. Just watch out for Eric probably, and then you'll probably see the rest of us.
Yeah, not wrong.
We'll be like satellites. Yeah, but what's cool about this episode coming up too is it's both one, all of us are in person, like you said. First time ever. It's our 150th episode, and it's officially going to be the halfway mark of season 4. So
wow, that's amazing.
I was just looking at it, and I was like, damn, like we really are going to be at the halfway point. That's crazy.
Yep. Crazy.
Going to be a fantastic show. I can't wait. Make sure you save some of that whiskey and stuff for us, Danny B. That Nashville whiskey.
If what I understand is correct, y'all might want to watch your mailboxes here lately.
Oh boy. Oh, is that like? Are you like allowed to travel?
That whiskey's gonna be gone. Basically.
Am I allowed to like travel across state lines with whiskey? Is that like a thing? Is that like an issue?
I mean, you can go to a liquor store and buy it and bring it home. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be fun. Well, we're going to be filming a lot of stuff while we're at the track all next week, plus the NASCAR Weekly podcast will be live from Danny B's living room, office, game. I don't know. I've never been to your house.
We will be gathered around my pool table because it's the biggest piece of furniture that we can all gather around and put a computer on.
Eric, his house is so nice that every time I come home to my 400 rent apartment. I just feel like crap every time, man. $400 a month.
Hey, I wish it was that cheap.
Dude, that's why I love it here too. It's so cheap, bro. I'm like, yeah, let's go. So
I can't wait. Going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you all so much for the super chats as well. Really appreciate the support. I cannot wait for next week's show. I know the rest of us can't either. Jarrett's ready to play us out. Thank you to our guests. I'm looking for the outro words. Okay, Jarrett, you're ready whenever you are.
Yeah, ready whenever you are.
Ready?
Yeah, go. Wow, that thing blows out the speakers immediately.
I know.
That's insane.
And we're not even gonna be able to know next week.
I know, that's crazy.
Bye-bye.